go ahead and advertise to your different social networks.
Imprisoned. Dun dun dun.
For now.
We'll see. Now it's loading. That's exciting. Got the pink and purple background on. I like that one.
Yeah, I do too. That's too many backslashes.
Some time for people to join. We'll start up in about 15.
Where did that one go? Right, I hid the muted channels.
So how was everyone's week?
Exhausting.
Yeah, about the same.
Since I'm quitting next week, I'm currently doing the next 6 months of work in 2 weeks. So,
Very fun.
yep.
Oh, that'll make taking the time off after that much more enjoyable.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever done so much work in my time at work. Having to do 6 months worth of programs in 2 weeks is a lot.
Yes.
I filmed 2 programs today. I filmed 2 on Wednesday. Filmed 2 the day before that.
Shit.
I am done
How long
advertising.
does each program take?
Well, it depends on them, but I usually finish like 2 in the 5 hours that I'm there. At least it's like sort of fun because they're like library programs for kids. So I'm just
Well, that's cool.
doing random stuff, but it's just tiring.
Do you do it by yourself or with other people?
Well, usually I would do it with my boss, but I'm doing it by myself.
Oh, we got
More
some
fun.
we got some follows while we were offline. Thor the Disney Princess and Peach.
Nice.
Yeah, and by
I like Thor the Disney Princess.
Me too. That's a good username.
Oop, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to click
One
that.
of those people might be. One of those might be the random person that we ran into outside of that recently moved into our apartment.
That reminds me, I should
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
double check if we have a
obviously,
whisper from him.
And I heard him driving up, and I heard Critical Role playing in his car. So we got out. I'm like, "Hey, you listening to Critical Role?" And kind of fun little conversation. And yeah, gotta love how that kind of stuff brings people together.
Right? And he got a free DMG out of it.
Yeah, we had an extra one in his was Lost or Destroy or something. So you want ours? Because we had our old one, but then 2 years ago, I got for Scott's birthday. I got him that nice, like designer.
The fancy cover
Special.
ones.
This fancy cover ones for all the core rule books.
Oh, you know what I never did?
Nice.
I never changed the
What did you never
characters
do?
in the D&D Beyond extension.
Oh yeah. So they're still showing the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
I can fix that just now.
Yeah.
If it'll load. Alright. There we go. Extensions. Not Light, not Sheeran, unfortunately. Midnight and Valerian. There we go. Should I leave Birdie on there or take her out?
Leave Birdie on there.
Okay. Save configuration. Hopefully that doesn't take too long to update. Nope, on mine it updated automatically. Cool. Alright. That's done.
You also need to change your name in Discord.
I didn't want to do that because with Sean not coming in and listening and stuff like that, it would, replace where I had to for the captures, would replace where I had to put the captures and stuff like that.
Okay,
I mean, I might
that
as well
makes
do it
sense.
now since I'm the only one who has to change names at this point. But I'll do that after
Yeah.
stream.
I forgot it would change where you are.
I want to do that when everyone can get together and
Makes sense.
actually no, it probably won't change where I am with current one, current setup.
Well, M is in between F and V, so
Yeah, but if he's got no cameras, so I mean those two don't have cameras, so the ones with cameras stay on top.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't change
Oh,
it
okay.
since I'm
That makes
after
sense.
Daddy Master.
Keep forgetting it's Daddy Master.
Got 6 minutes left before we have to start.
So we can at least go over a little bit of a recap over last session's chaos. You guys arrived in Galespire. Is this the name of the town? You have a map up here.
I think so.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah, Galespire. You guys found a place to house your elephant, Bubba, and with a kindly old gnome farmer outside of the town itself. You got inside, rested up for the evening, and then found out in the morning, unfortunately, that someone had snuck in and absconded with your favorite little birdie companion, Kenku companion Birdie, and you guys set off trying to figure out where she would have been taken to, who took her, and some of your investigations led you down into a kind of a dark alley that seemed to cater towards the less than legal marketplace of Galespire. Found a kid that you recognized from the tavern last night and selling something. No, weren't quite sure when you were there because there was something on the table. You guys began interrogating him, found some information on from him, and as you pressed more and tried to threaten him some more and pull him into the back room, unfortunately, your interrogations got noticed, and the people down there obviously did not like that, and so you were kind of told to stop, told to move away, blah, 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 all that, and you decided to antagonize. And a fight ensued.
It's
from
what
there.
we do best, honestly.
Yeah.
I blame
Yeah.
Afris.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, probably. For the second part, yeah.
you guys were able to
I'll take the blame. I have the
quell-
gun.
You guys were able to quell the initial assault, but as you were in the middle of the kind of undercity population, they were not keen on their marketplace being attacked. So they gathered in force and arrested all of you, dropping a few of your allies in the process, and or at least bring them low.
I'm down.
Currently, Afris is being dragged away by a number of them, and
I take great pride in that.
midnight,
It takes a lot of them.
You are in handcuffs and are being led away. And Valerian, you're not currently in like restraints, but you are being led away with the rest of them.
Okay,
And yeah,
I accept that.
That's why you're starting out.
I still find it funny that like Afris goes down, I shove a potion in her mouth, she wakes up, and then Valerian shoves another potion in her mouth.
But I still
What happened?
down.
Take this.
What fun.
She's gotta look like so intimidating in many different ways because giant centaur, giraffe centaur, covered in just red potion,
Like a lot of
bloody, a lot of gore. It's just and then as they go to
up right now.
touch you, as they go to touch you, just lightning strikes out of you. Yeah.
I still look like a silver-haired elf woman.
For a little bit.
For now.
For now, yeah. That only took, what, like 10 minutes?
I mean, the fight itself took like maybe, let's see here, Black Lantern Lane. That fight took 30 seconds. And Ben,
Indie
and
combat
whole,
moves
like,
so fast. So much happened, and it was 30 seconds.
No.
If you think about it, though, we dropped 6 guys in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I
Which is
mean,
kinda
wow,
cool.
we are impressive. 3v6, we
But
bested them.
it took about a minute or so to tie up the guys afterwards, and then that's when the people arrived and had you guys all drop your shit. So yeah, and then the whole conversation and looking through the place probably took a few minutes, so you still have like 50 or so minutes left on this guy. So
Yeah.
So you're not in too much trouble because they don't know who you are yet.
Yeah, but
though,
someone touches
yeah,
my
but
head.
they have her.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but not yet. If she escapes before then.
Someone touches my head, they're gonna feel them horns, though. Well, that horn.
And she,
Well, there's
she
only
was, their first impression of her was her holding one of their guys with a knife to his throat, saying,
That's true. That's true.
regardless of what she looks
Their
like.
leader. That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, she's gonna have some
I
explaining.
tried
do
to
there.
play it. I'm hoping that my ploy at playing the victim works. Everybody that saw me was unconscious, so
That's true. That's
except
true.
for the leader.
Yeah, we
she was
woke her up.
unconscious too. We dropped her, and then I was no longer present when she woke up.
Oh, that
Mhm.
that might be true.
Fingers crossed, man. That's all I'm saying.
Alright. Well, we can get started, and hold on a second.
There's one guy out there who's deathly afraid of midnight.
Oh my gosh.
Alright. So, you guys are all led away, and you guys all are separated, and all of your gear is taken off of you, and you are left with just your clothes. You are all thrown into, at least Midnight and Afris, you're both thrown in separate cages. You do not know where either of each other's is. And Valerian, you are thrown into a room with a chair and a desk, and you are left there alone for the moment.
Do I need to
Okay.
make death saving throws?
Sure. But give me 3 d20 rolls and just see
Oh,
what
damn.
happens.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh,
Sure.
no.
Give me a few
Sure.
to see what happens.
That's a success for the first one.
Okay.
That's a failure for the second one.
Okay.
That's another failure for the third one.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not feeling good about this.
you got,
gotta
you got 1
say.
success and 2 failures.
Wait,
Yep.
never mind. I was gonna say, didn't we
So
get her up when we started tying people up?
That's a success. Okay.
That was after.
That-
It was.
that
happened
is-
after.
Oh yeah.
So you got 2 and 2. What's gonna happen?
No, I hate this so much. I wish I would have just got a failure last time. This is way too much pressure.
Good luck.
Okay. Which die do I roll is the question.
Our first dies before we even start playing.
You had to ask, didn't you?
Fuck, I guess we'll do the...
All you gotta roll is a 10.
I know, but you know me. The last one
Good
was
luck.
a 12. It wasn't very passing. I'm dead, bitches! Rolled a 9!
Mm.
Okay, I'm dead.
So the
Now on D&D Beyond it says dead after.
here's, you do technically die, but there you do awaken in your cell.
Okay.
And I'll get to that in a moment.
Okay.
But Valerian, you were the first one.
They
to
resuscitated
kind of, you're the first one to get attended to, and you're left there for about an hour with no real news of anything. No one's talking to you. You're just left in this room. It's got a light up at the top of the room with a desk and a chair. No windows, just a singular door into the room, and the desk itself is made out of wood. Chair itself is wood as well. The door is from what you can tell is mostly metal. And when it did close, you heard a loud like. You can probably assume it was being locked.
And a
Is there
curious
anything
question:
you'd like to do in that
did these people appear to be like town guard?
No, they did not.
Okay, so we're dealing with like a mob prison, basically.
It's up to your assumption. Make
Let me look
a
at what I got.
make a perception check for me, basically, as you are being carried away.
Okay. Skill. Perception?
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be a 21.
21. Okay. You see as you're being carried away that a few of them seem to have a kind of a badge that is pinned to some of their like doublets or jackets or whatever clothes that they're wearing. That none of them really have a uniform, but you do see a symbol of a lantern with kind of like purple coloring on the inside. But then there's a picture, and then there's like a skull inside the lanterns. It's like one of those like bullseye lanterns or that you'd be carrying, but inside is a skull sitting inside of it.
Can I make a history check to see if I recognize this symbol? Or have heard of it? History. Plus 6, huh? That is going to be a 18.
18. Unfortunately,
Yep.
Not being local to here, you're not sure who this would represent.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there anything you would like to do with
Is this
this
definitely-
power?
But it definitely seems like some sort of like private group
Mm-hmm.
rather than a legal military or
Yeah,
militia.
You weren't taken out of this place. You were taken actually deeper into whatever underground area this is. So you can assume whatever you want, but
Spells.
all.
Am I strapped to the chair that I'm on?
No, but everything that could be taken off of you besides your clothes was taken off of you, including your cannon and all of that. So you still technically have your armor.
Yeah, well, the armor can't be forcibly removed, so. Unless I am dead. I will. Can I investigate the room?
Sure. One investigation check for me.
That's going to be a 20 even.
20 even, okay. Move around the room. It definitely seems to have been made specifically for this purpose, for keeping somebody isolated. You kind of listen around to some of the areas in the walls. You kind of like knock on a couple of the walls. They seem pretty solid. You go to the door. It itself is pretty solid. You listen at the door a little bit. You every once in a while think you might hear a voice on the other side, but it seems like the door's pretty thick. And it's kind of hard to tell anything that's going on out there.
I'm in here for an hour, you said, correct?
Mm-hmm. Before something happens.
To have these some tools to do. What is like object wise? What's all in the sound, or what's all in the?
Just the desk and the chair,
Which,
and then
what,
the light,
how,
and then the
like,
light on the in the ceiling.
What size category would you give the chair?
Small.
All right. Let's open tiny.
No. Tiny something you could hold in your hand.
I really don't have much I can do other than that. I mean, I guess I will patiently wait in the chair and just kind of go over what I'm going to say in my head.
Okay. At just around the hour mark, that you hear the door unlock and the door opens up. You see it's being opened up by someone that's letting someone in, and it is a female human, long black hair that's kind of sort of some of it's braided, some of it is just fallen in kind of like curly locks that all sweep over to one side of her head and kind of roll down her shoulder. She's wearing kind of black leather armor, and she's got these very piercing blue eyes, a very kind of stern-looking face, and she comes in. You can hear like the clack, clack, clack of her boots as she's coming in. She's actually pulling in a chair with her, and she kind of puts it next to on the other side of the desk from you, and sits down. And the door, the guy who let her in walks in as well, and then closes the door, and you hear from the other end, it locks again. She gingerly sits down. She gets in a very straight posture, and kind of looks across at you. Doesn't say anything right away. Just kind of eyes you, looking you over. So, what were you doing there?
I am looking for a friend who was kidnapped.
And how did you get involved with the skirmish outside?
I met with a set of dwarves who pointed me in the direction of that part of town, saying that who I'm looking for, somebody over there might be able to tell me the direction to go. And when I got there, I kind of arrived in the middle of it, took a stray couple shots, attempt to get past. I'm not really sure what happened.
Make a deception check.
19.
Okay. Give me just a moment here. I'll be back. I just realized I never got my dice. I'm not prepared. 1 second.
Oh no! That's what you call naked DMing.
He doesn't need dice. He just imagines them.
He just imagines the rolls.
He just eeny, meeny, miny, mo's 1 through 20.
It takes them a while to pick, but
She kind of eyes you a little bit and says, well, one thing that seems to be, I must ask, who all was there that was a part of this skirmish? Do you remember anyone? Faces, descriptions?
It was kind of hard to tell. There was a big woman. I think there was an elf. A lot of people, like humans. Some dumb little kid that got in the middle of it. I want to say there was at least 10 people that I saw. Not entirely sure. I was attempting not to get shot. Wrong place, wrong time type of thing.
Are the young man who seems to have been at the center of this incident said that there was another man there with some sort of firearm that he had produced into his to threaten him with, alongside the other two that were with him. We did not find such a manifest description among the people fallen, and the other people that also fell had the same description. Now, we did find some curious items in your inventory that seem to fit some of the descriptions.
I'm an inventor of sorts. I will tell you, in case you forgot, when I use the disguise self spell, it changes what I am wearing, and it changed my cannon from looking like the cannon to a gun.
Okay.
So when I dropped it, it would have went back to the sphere with legs that sits on my shoulder usually.
Okay. Some of the items seem to be of curious make. Now,
I'm an inventor of sorts.
you must realize that we are very suspicious that our very delicate ecosystem here was attacked, threatened, and we want to make sure that people that have done this are held responsible. And you are telling me that you are not a part of it at all.
I happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I find it suspicious that a little bird girl would go missing in town. That seemed as peaceful as this one. So I'm just trying to find my friend.
And you have no knowledge of who these other two individuals were.
I'd have to take a look at him again. Like I said, I didn't get the greatest of eyes. I was getting shot at.
Well, we shall confer with the other witnesses and see if your story fits up. Until then, you'll understand if we keep you in custody.
I can describe the dwarves that pointed me in the direction if you want.
Please.
And I will describe the group of dwarves that are the crafters in the town.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember I don't know where my paper is that has the sheet. You gave me one.
She kind of like looks over at the man standing at the door, and he kind of pulls out like a piece of paper and writes down a little bit of some of your description. Well, we will investigate more, and we will let you know what we find. Until then, we will provide you with food, and
no need there, madam. I don't eat.
Noted. She kind of the chick kind of, and she moves it back and then stands up. And she turns around and the man opens the door, grabs the chair, and follows her out the doors. Midnight. Over this hour, what are you doing in your cell?
Mostly just grieving.
Okay. Are you going to maintain your disguise once the hour starts to come to an end?
That's only vocal and somatic, so I don't need my thing. Is there anyone around?
You do have a couple of people that seem to be guarding your cell, yeah.
Are they
They're
watching?
not by the doors. One of them is.
Any way I can get them to look away.
It's up to you. What would you like to try?
I'm just looking at my abilities to see if I can.
All you need is 6 seconds.
Ooh. I am going to cast Thaumaturgy to create an instantaneous sound from down the hall. It sounds like something clattering.
Okay. They both do look in that direction as the sound happens. And you're going to attempt to
Yeah.
recast disguise self. Okay.
Do you need me to...
Quickly, do a sleight of hand for me.
Okay. Well, that's not going to work. That's a natural 1 for a total of 6.
Okay. It's they look over there, but then one of them looks back immediately to check on because they hear you kind of muttering something, and there's not much of a change to you, but he does kind of like step forward. Like, what are you doing?
Just a little bit of maintenance. I got a little bit of hurt.
Keep quiet in there.
Okay.
He goes and sits down again, kind of eyeing you as he sits down. The other one looks back, and they kind of like chat, whisper to each other, and then one of them gets up and goes to check out what that noise was. Comes back about a minute later, and nothing there. You're left there by yourself for now, for that hour. Aphros. When you go unconscious as you are being dragged away, you're kind of aware of what's going on. You're being dragged away by someone, but it's a lot of multiple people, yeah. But that is quickly faded away to black, and it's an odd sensation of this, like you felt yourself being dragged away, but then you suddenly felt yourself floating, as if you were in just kind of water, but not as much resistance. It's almost like free falling type of floating, and everything around you is black until you hear there's this bright flash of light, and then a thunderclap hits, and your entire space around you is lit up, blindingly so. And you look up and you see this strange form silhouetted. That it is, you see it as the flash hits, but then it is kind of like burned into your retinas for a few moments afterwards. And it's just this vision of this individual, vaguely humanoid shape. And you feel like this, the power and the the immensity of whatever this was. You feel in a few moments pass, and another, and it's closer now. It's even more immense than before, and a few more moments. And you are now staring up at this towering, skyscraper-sized creature made of pure lightning and storm. You see whirling clouds spiraling around its torso and its arms and its featureless face. Lightning crackling around its, and once it's this close, it no longer fades away. It is just a shining beacon of crackling energy and lightning and electricity. And you feel the hairs the fur and the hairs on your body stand up, and you can feel kind of like tingling between your antlers, and you look up at this creature and you know it. It's not necessarily a name or something that you've met before, but you know it. And it slowly reaches out its hand towards you, and you can feel the sparks starting to fly between you and its hand, and you feel yourself being dragged towards it. And right as it is about to touch you, lightning is literally arcing between your limbs and its finger as it's about to reach towards you. Suddenly you are ripped backwards out of there, away from it, and you can see it slowly receding as its hand is still kind of outstretching towards you. And then it slowly fades to a pinpoint of light until nothing, and you suddenly awaken, coughing and sore and hurt and unable to move, as you are bound by your hooves are all bound together in like hogtied, and then your arms are tied behind your back. And there is a man standing over you. He's hooded. He has a dangling chain from his hanging from his neck, and he says, "Oh, looks like we got to her just in time. Do you need anything else from me? Do you want me to heal her up?" You hear a voice from behind him. "Nah, leave her. She can deal with her own wounds." "I'm sorry, my child." He stands up and walks out. It's kind of hard to see outside the cell because your vision isn't completely there yet, and you hear the loud of the cell door being closed, and you see a couple silhouettes walking away. But your vision lasts for about that much longer, and then you just kind of lay your head back and pass out.
Okay, well, I got it all down.
You write fast, Jesus.
Holy crap.
Then, yeah, so after that, the woman, you then, at midnight, at the end of that hour, about 10 minutes or so after you do that whole re-upping your image, you see a door open somewhere out of sight, and then you hear that kind of clacking of boots, and a woman comes into your eyesight, and it is you don't know this obviously, but it's the same woman that went and saw Valerian, and the same man is accompanying her, and she kind of walks towards the cell, looks you up and down a little bit. What was your purpose for attacking the Black Lantern Lane?
Definitely not that. I didn't intend to attack.
You seemed to be quite keen on it when you held one of our employees at knife point.
To be honest, I wasn't expecting you all to not care about her life.
No. You obviously seem to have a low opinion of us Undercity folk.
I'm gonna switch to Thieves' Cant. Where I come from, we have a code. We care about our own.
She seems to understand. She kind of she has a look of understanding on her face. She's straight up. She just says, "As do we." Now, thankfully, no one perished, so that is a plus on your side. But you and your companion are definitely going to be held accountable. Now, I must ask. It was said by some of the people that were there that there were 3 of you. Where was your other companion?
I don't know. He disappeared as soon as we realized there was more people there.
Make a deception check.
Well, I'm not rolling great tonight. That is a total of 10.
Okay.
Oof.
No, that's not a 5. I'm sorry, that's a 13. So that's a total of 18.
Okay. She kind of, indeed. Now, what were you there for?
One of our companions went missing. A white bird person. Do I know what a kinku is?
Yes, you know what a kinku is.
Okay. A white kinku. We were trying to figure out who took her, because we're not into stuff like that.
And you thought that you'd find your information down here and decided to threaten an attack? To get that information?
Intimidate to get information. The attack was definitely not my intention.
Well, feel lucky that we are as charitable as we are. Your other friend was not in the best of states when she was taken away.
I'm assuming I didn't see that.
You saw her being taken away and looked real rough, but you didn't see her die technically necessarily.
Is she all right now?
She'll live.
Midnight sighs. Okay, good.
We'll be back once we have more questions. Get comfortable. And she turns around and there's a couple of very, very soft words exchanged between her and the man that's following her, and then her boots clacking away as she leaves the area, and the door closes out of sight. Avarice, you awaken a couple hours later, and you are just in utter pain, sore, hurt, still bound. You kind of look around and you can see the same thing as the other 2. You're left in just your clothes, no weapons, no anything else that was able to take off has been taken off. And you lay kind of in the back of a cell. The cell itself is it looks kind of like rough worked stone. It's kind of like a dark gray stone. And then the cell itself is worked into this kind of like joy of stone. On the other side are 2 guards that seem to be, one is kind of sitting there with a set of cards that he's kind of flipping over. It looks like he might be playing some sort of like solitary type game. And another guard is sitting there watching you, but he's got his head in his hand against his face. He's got his eyes open looking at you, but he kind of sits up as he sees you open your eyes. That looks like she lived. Get her some water. And he's like, fine. Gets up and you hear kind of like a running water off out of sight, and then he comes back and there's like a small bucket that he slips in between the bars and kind of tosses it and kind of like it like wobbles a little bit like it's gonna fall over, but then it lands. And drink. It's the only water you're getting for the day.
Cool. I'm gonna drink it and then lay back down.
You kind of like have to like warm yourself over to it. They don't seem to
Makes
help
a
at
big
all.
boom, boom, boom.
And yeah,
I learned to do the worm.
Yeah. And as you're sitting there trying to get that water ready, you get finished, and you're a mess at the moment, unfortunately. You hear a door open up, and you hear more of that of the boots clacking, and the woman comes into frames. First time I've obviously seen her, but she kind of... You are an interesting creature, aren't you? What is your name?
Can we talk later? I'm kind of experienced I just had. I'm like, wow, gods are real? Who knew?
Okay. Well, I need to ask why you were there. Why you attacked the Black Lantern Lane. What was the purpose of this?
Oh, again, I'm really, wow. I mean, I do that, but I'm laying down. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a second. Sorry. Your Afris, is she lagging for anyone else?
Yeah, she's lagging for me too.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, I just saw my internet just drop down to 0 for a second.
Okay.
It seems to be coming back now.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It shows it's good now.
So she kind of looks at you, kind of curiously. Says, it would be in your best interest to get into the mode to talk.
I mean, I guess, but wow. Okay, what was the question again?
The question was why you were there in the alley, and why did you attack our employees?
Okay, yeah. I know the answer to that. My best friend was kidnapped out of our room last night. And so I was just trying to find her, trying to get information.
And this best friend of yours, would it be happen to have been a albino Kenku?
Well, yeah.
Noted. And you decided to attack, why?
Again, okay, maybe not like the best move on my part, but has your best friend ever been kidnapped before? Like someone that you love so deeply? Like, has that happened to you before?
I don't have best friends. That is for children.
Okay, well, you should get one. It's really good. I before this didn't have a best friend personally. I had to like leave my whole family behind. It's a big deal thing. Anyways, and then I met Birdie, which my best friend. You should get one again. As I was saying, they're great, and I bet if you were in my position, you would have done the same thing.
Well, I'm sure we will find some way to deal with all of this. For the time being, get comfortable.
Okay, so what I do is I go into my sleeping position to get comfortable. So I have like my neck is just like in a really weird position.
With your arms behind your back too.
Do you do that before she leaves?
Yeah.
So she's just
yeah. As soon as she says get comfortable, I do that immediately.
Just like get comfortable.
Kind of pulls her head back a little bit. She's indeed, and then turns and leaves. I'd say about a half hour after she had initially talked to you, Valerian, the door opens again, and the woman comes in.
Okay.
May I ask what your name is?
Valerian Ironheart.
Valerian. Well, I must say that your story of a kidnapped birdie friend matches quite similarly with the other two stories, and yet you say you don't know who they are, and you were there by yourself looking for your friend. Is that correct?
I told you I didn't get a good look. We're all in town together, following our own leads. Figured it'd be better to split up and look.
Shooting at you.
It looked like some men in leather.
Well, you must see how your story does not seem to hold up to scrutiny when put up against the other two's accounts of what happened.
Well, sometimes it gets chaotic when you have about 8 crossbows pointed at you. But I'm not lying. I am looking for a friend.
Get the shackles. And the guy kind of walks out, and 2 other men come in. So there's the woman, the man that followed her, and now 2 other men that come in. And they're hooded, and they've actually got masks over their faces as they come in, and they, unless you fight, stand you up, put your arms behind your back, and cuff you, and start to lead you away.
This is when I wish I had an arm blade.
Shinga!
It's a good thing you don't.
They lead you away, and you yourself are placed into a cell. The woman following the entire time. The woman closes the door. She says, comfortable?
Unless they blindfold me.
They do not.
Do they blindfold me?
They do not.
I will use my keen mind to memorize the path they took me through this building.
Sounds good. Led into a cell, closed, locked, and 2 guards are sat outside your door. And the woman says, get comfortable. We will see you again in the morning. Enjoy your stay.
Thanks. Do you have a pillow?
And she doesn't answer and walks out.
Okay.
Rude.
The cell itself has a kind of like a raised section in the back that is like your bed. And other than that, it's empty, save for the bars and the walls.
Okay.
And you all are
But
essentially
definitely
left.
no pillow?
Definitely no pillow. You are all essentially left here overnight. Anything you guys would like to do during the night?
I'm just gonna sleep it off. Sleep for like 20 hours, bro.
If someone's watching me during the night, they're pretty much noticing because I'm out of spell slots that I'm going to change back to Tiefling.
Okay. Yeah.
Do I have somebody watching my slot?
Yes, you have 2 guards watching you.
I'm gonna spark up conversation.
When you eventually change back midnight, one of the guards gets up and leaves, and then comes back maybe about 10 minutes later. But other than that, they don't say anything. And you can attempt to start conversation with the guards.
Once I gotta read this to make sure I don't need a tool for it. Alright, how close to the bars are they?
They are about 15 feet back.
I can't do it. I was gonna secretly like poke one of their helmets and imbue it with magical radiant light for funsies. So it's just bars and then like a raised up thing to sleep on. There's nothing else.
Yeah, it's in the back. It's just kind of like a raised up section to lay on. I mean, it's not really any different from the floor otherwise. But and yeah, there's no windows. It's just the walls of the kind of like roughly cut stone and the bars themselves. And the bars are about this far apart. If you can't see, it's about an inch or so apart.
I ask the guards if they have anything to occupy somebody who doesn't sleep.
They kind of like look at each other and like, we got cars. Those are for us.
cards.
Mm-mm.
I'll play cards with you on this side of the bars.
Yeah, like I said, cards are for us. Kind of turn over and they start
I can be
feeling themselves out.
I can be really loud all night. I don't sleep.
If they'll want them, go ahead.
Let me check that feature real quick. Race. Instruct resilience. Sentry's rest. When you take a long rest, you'll spend at least 6 hours in an inactive, motionless state. Sleeping in this state, you appear inert, but it doesn't render you unconscious, and you can see or hear as normal. I'm just gonna hum the most annoying sound, or annoying song I can possibly hum, the entire night.
Okay.
And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go over in my head the map
Most
of
annoying
this
song
area.
there is.
I mean, I could talk about Cthulhu. I heard
I was
this
about to
from a
say,
friend
is I
once,
Fuck
and I was
Cthulhu your
saying-
most hated song?
No, I heard it from a friend, so I'll just hum that to myself all night. It doesn't have to be annoying, but it's constant sound.
Mhm.
And
You definitely tell
then-
that they're irritated throughout the night, but there are guard changes throughout, and
Nice.
So long
And,
as someone's irritated because I didn't get to play cards. Can you describe kind of like the corridor they brought me through?
it's similar kind of stonework, kind of rough cut, and you saw a number of doors on either side. None of them were open. None of them had windows, and they were similar doors to the one that leads into kind of the room you're in. There's
Okay.
that metal with the metal handles.
Now, with the cells, did I pass the other two by chance, or are they in
You
like
did
their
not.
own separate room?
The from being let in, and you guys would have the other conscious person would have saw this as well. Is that these cells are separated rooms.
Okay. Did the room that they brought me into here seem to have other ones?
There were other ones in this hallway. Yeah.
Is there any chance I can retroactively make a perception check to see if I might have heard either Afris or Midnight through the doors?
Sure.
It is perception. Skip +4. That's going to be a 13 +4 for 17.
17. Unfortunately, you didn't hear either of your allies. They weren't really doing much to be quiet, be like louder anyways, because Avarice basically fell asleep after her last conversation with the woman, and
Midnight's been
Midnight
pretty
wasn't
silent,
really doing much.
except
So,
when spoken
you didn't
to.
really hear much.
Yeah, while I'm quote unquote inert, I'm just going to be playing out that map in my head and attempting to come up with some sort of escape plan,
Okay.
if need be.
Then yeah, you guys do get a long rest, and it's enough that you are able to get back your abilities and get your health back. But you're all very sore and very uncomfortable. I mean, you, Valerian, are fine. Usually just standing there, anyways. But
Quick question: when I go to sleep and look like I'm dead, do they do anything?
no, I mean they you don't know what they do, unfortunately, when you go to sleep. But for metagame knowledge, they don't really do much. They kind of are paying attention enough to make sure that you're still there, but they're not paying attention enough to notice that might not be breathing.
So I just literally stir from the dead when I wake up.
Mm.
You should get into a habit that the first thing you do whenever you wake up is just take a really, really deep breath.
Yes, I want to.
You always gasp.
If I know
Every
about
That's
morning.
very dramatically.
if I know about that thing, because it's kind of hard to know if you are dead, if you're not breathing when you're asleep, or you look like that. If I do know about that, that's literally what I'm going to start doing.
I'm sure somebody has woken you up before, been like, "Are you dead?"
Yeah. So that's what I do when I wake up.
Dude, I thought
I
you
love
died.
that.
Every
Midnight
morning.
just wakes up. Both of the guards that are there at that time when you wake up kind of look over and is like, "You okay?"
Yeah, just came back from the dead.
I'm cursed. I die every night.
They kind of look at each other. Okay. Well, good. We need to question you some more. So get yourself presentable. And they one of them walks out and leaves for a few minutes. The same happens. You guys eventually come
It says
to.
get yourself presentable. I immediately just cast I cast disguise self on myself.
The guards come back, and there's a number of them for each of you. Especially for Aphris, it takes about 4 of them to get you back on your feet, and they get you on your feet. They untie your hooves, and they have longer chained cuffs that they then cuff to your legs. So your front 2
Okay.
legs are cuffed together, and your back 2 legs are cuffed together. So it's very awkward for you to walk, but
Okay.
you're able to actually move on your own.
Okay.
And then midnight, you're cuffed, and so are you, Valerian, as they come in and grab you. And there's 1 person on either side of you guys. You guys are led down outside of your rooms and down the hallway. And this is the kind of the first time you see each other as you're being led away. Aphris is the furthest one down the hallway, then Midnight, then Valerian, and you're all being led down from your perspective, Valerian. It's further in, not back the way you came.
As I see them, I'm going to make note to say, "Oh, I see you guys ran into trouble too."
What?
Yep.
Got to double up on my story.
I remember what he did.
And you guys are all led down down a hallway towards another door that is then opened, and you're led into a large room, kind of like an amphitheater almost. And you're led to the center of it. And you guys remember the Harry Potter movies?
Yeah. Up to number 4 because I haven't watched past that.
Okay, well, the courtroom in the Ministry of Magic, that kind of setup.
Okay,
so it's like
cool.
those, yeah. And you guys go in and are placed in the center, and up on the pedestal of the kind of like seat is the same woman, and she's kind of sitting there, and she's now dressed in more less leather armor and more just kind of like black and reds, but not a dress, more of like a power suit, I guess would be the more appropriate way to say the outfit is.
Like
her hair
Fallout
is now
power
more-
suit?
No, not like power armor, like a power suit.
Oh, okay.
Masculine clothes. She is sitting there kind of with a pen and a paper, writing stuff down as you're let in, put down, and there are separate chains that are on the ground that are attached to your cuffs. So they're attached to your front 2 cuffs on your hooves, Aphris, and then the other 2 are attached to you guys as the ones that are holding your hands. And
this is a wee bit kinky. Oh, I like it.
So you're not good,
guard,
so.
The guards step back, so there's now 6 of them in the back that are kind of standing guard in front of what looks like the only way out of here. And along up there, also with the woman, are 2 other individuals to her left. One is a goblin, older looking, has like this really pointed white beard, kind of a sort of like normal, sort of a peach skin tone to him, and he's actually missing one eye, and has this like large scar that goes down over the eye itself, and he sits there kind of with a cane, with his hands over it, and he's just watching all of you. And then next to the goblin is a dwarf, also male, large like blonde beard and swept back blonde hair, with very shiny looking refinery jewelry that's beaded into his beard. He's wearing very ostentatious clothing. He has large rings on his fingers. Just looks very gaudy in all of his accoutrement, but is sitting there and he's looking very bored as he's just kind of watching all of you. To the left of her, there is an elf-looking woman. She has very dark red hair. She is in a very expensive-looking, dark-hued dress, and she is currently talking to a halfling. That's a male halfling there. That is, he has curly, short hair, and he has a large sword attached to his back, and is kind of like listening to her.
So it's like a regular longsword.
Quick question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The guy with the eye and the woman with the red hair, are these the people that were described to us in the last session?
The people described in the last session? What do you mean?
So one person, bald, scar on his neck, red, I don't know why I wrote red, foggy eye, and a woman with red hair, tall, and apparently hot, according to the kid.
The woman seemingly fits part of that description, but the other person with the missing eye, he's a goblin and doesn't really match the other description.
Okay.
So.
Why did I write red?
So you're saying she's hot?
She is very beautiful. And the woman, the dark-haired woman, kind of speaks up after writing a little bit more. She says, "You are all brought here, as you are all, in our eyes, found guilty of committing a serious crime against Black Lantern Lane and its associates. Now, we're not here to hear your defense. We're not here to give you any choice in the matter. But we are giving you an opportunity. We need individuals that are expendable for a certain job. And this opportunity will earn you what little freedom you deserve if you complete it and are not arrested in turn by the guards of Galespire. If you refuse, you will be left to rot in your cells until such time as we see fit."
How long is that?
Probably a
An
while.
indeterminate amount of time.
Good to know. Good to know.
Now, what say you? Accept?
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
Better
if
than I
that's
was
our
expecting.
choices. Yeah.
Do I get my things back?
Eventually,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, if you want me to do any type of
Oh.
job, I need my.
Yeah, I feel like
You
We need
get
our
them before you
stuff to work.
before you have to do this job.
what's the job?
The job is for one or all of you, depending on how you want to do this, is to steal some evidence that has been collected against some associates of ours by the guards of Galespire.
That sounds right down my alley.
I'm a great distraction.
However you feel like however you feel appropriate to complete this task is up to you. I do not care one way or the other. If you get caught, there's no link back to us. And
I just got really
There-
sad.
why?
My poor Tinkerbot is all alone shaking in my bag.
Yeah. And she says, however you complete it is up to you. If you get caught, well, we'll find another way to deal with it. But for now,
What needs
we
to
feel
be
it is necessary.
stolen is the question.
You'll be given this information before you are set free. Just know that if at any point in time you renege on this opportunity, we will find you. And I can promise it won't be pleasant. But if you
Okay,
complete
yeah,
this,
but we still need information about our friend. Assuming we don't go to jail or die.
I have no information on your friend, unfortunately.
Okay, the kid definitely had information.
Can I insight check her when she says that?
Same.
Sure.
And it's going to be a 22.
Okay.
That is an
I
11.
also look at the red-haired lady. I look at the red-haired lady when she says it too.
So who are you inciting? The dark-haired lady or the red-haired lady?
I incite the dark-haired lady because she seems to be in charge, and as I gauge her, what she says, I look over to the red-haired lady.
Okay. So roll a separate insight check for the red-haired lady as well.
Yeah, I was looking at the red-haired lady immediately. Although I didn't get a good number.
15 for the red-haired lady.
Okay. What was yours, Midnight?
11.
I do make it apparent that I am inciting the red-haired lady, so like it is an obvious motion to stare at her.
Mm-hmm. The dark-haired woman does not seem to give any sign that she is lying. She doesn't seem to know anything about your friend. The woman doesn't necessarily... she doesn't react in any way that seems to give away anything, but when you look at her, she kind of gives you a smirk. But she's looking directly back at you as you're looking at her.
I accept the job.
It's a good choice. Now you will all be led away and debriefed. Thank you. She kind of does this hand motion, and the guards come forward, unattach your chains, and then start to pull you out of the room.
Whenever we're leaving the room, I'm just gonna like whisper to these guys and be like, "That was a hot redhead. Do you think it was her?"
I was wondering too.
I think it is.
That's great. Great to know.
The way she looked back at me tells me that I think she's aware of what's happened.
Great, so we have to fuck up a member of the Black Lantern.
I say we use this job to get closer.
Okay. I mean, if you think that's best.
We're not necessarily in a position to not follow the job.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But if we succeed at this job and do well and perhaps impress them, maybe we can get in without being in cuffs.
It would be nice.
All I'm saying is let's gather more information before we make a move this time.
You guys are led out of the room, and you're led kind of back the same way, but you are led into a different room at the very end. You're all moved down to a kind of like against the wall a little bit, and you are all uncuffed, and most of the guards leave save for two. They stand at the door, and you guys gonna do anything while you're currently waiting?
Are either of those two guards one of the two that were outside my cell?
No, they are different ones.
If they were, I was going to start humming it.
And then I would have started singing.
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah. Oh shit.
What?
Hmm?
Oh, okay. So a few minutes pass, and the door is open again, and they're kind of coming in. Two people like carrying a large chest, and they kind of put it down in front of you and open it up, and it seems to have all of your stuff in it. And there is a that who also walks in. So there's now the two guards that were already in there, the two guards that pulled in the chest, and then that halfling walks in with the sword on his back, and kind of walks in, looks up at all of you, and says, "So the job currently is there is a ledger that has been confiscated by the guards. It is bound in red leather and has a monogrammed L on the cover of it. You don't need to know what's inside of it or what it's for. All you need to know is that you need to get it. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
Do we? They're keeping it.
You're bringing it
Any
back
clue?
to us.
Yes,
Yeah, but like,
do
you know where the
have
guards
any
are keeping
more?
it.
Wherever the guards might keep it, that's up to you to find out.
You're so helpful.
That's not my job to be helpful, man.
Well,
You might want to have your information gathering teams work a little harder.
We know the guards have it, and we need it back. What as much information as we need. And people who knows what they're
Where
doing,
they have it.
should be able to get it back. Again, not my problem. He kind of like yawns as he says it. He seems really just kind of bored with the whole situation.
Me too.
Now,
How short is he? Because like me and Afris is like 8 feet tall. I'm like 6.5, almost 7.
he's like close to 4 feet tall.
okay.
Attaboy.
So it doesn't even come up to my stomach.
No, he doesn't.
Chilling out
But he
living.
doesn't. He doesn't seem to. And just, yeah. But he definitely. You can tell that he has seen some combat. His armor looks well used, but well taken care of. Blade on his back is in a sheath, but it is seems to be of nice make. And you see a couple of scars here and there on some of his exposed skin. You definitely see that he's seen some combat. And says, "Well, here's your stuff, and try not to create way more chaos. Might be a good idea for you guys. But once you get the ledger back,
Was he
back
the one talking to the redhead?
Mm-hmm.
If your lady friends wouldn't kidnap people, we wouldn't have to create chaos.
Kind of like
Midnight just looks at him.
kind of gives
like,
you kind of gives you a quizzical look, like, okay, sure.
The redhead.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
She's kind of a cunt. From what
I don't even know her, dude.
from what I hear.
Okay, well, you can have your own opinion. That's good on you.
Did he really call me dude?
Yeah.
All right.
He's just like, I mean, I didn't. He's kind of like, as he says, like, good on you for having an opinion. And he under his breath, like, I didn't ask for it, but okay. And he then kind of walks out and.
I was mostly seeing how much of a rise he would get if he was in tow with her or not.
Mm-hmm. He seems to be a very nonchalant guy that just kind of is. He seems to be doing this for some reason, but he seems to be very bored with the whole situation. Like it's kind of it's going through the motions. And he walks out and kind of waves, and most of the guards leave except for the two that were there, and they kind of wait for you to re-equip yourself.
Hey.
So, the poison sacks. Actually, no. I'd probably leave that in the inn room. Never mind.
Okay.
Although I will ask. So, do you all know what to do with I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the spider. Phase spider, venom sacs.
I could probably figure something out.
I was talking to someone in the room.
Oh.
Oh, there's just two other guards in the room is with you. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's just the guards? It's just the guards?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, the halfling and his men left.
Okay, then I'll ask later. Never mind.
Okay. You guys put all your stuff on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that is done, the chest is kind of moved out of the way, and then they lead you out of this area.
I take a quick 5 minutes to look through all of my stuff to make sure it's all there.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like anything's missing.
Okay. Because I know one of us has about 10 pounds of uncut gems.
Yeah, I have 10 pounds of uncut gems on me.
Yeah. But no, everything seems to be there. Yeah. So you can definitely tell these people are at least where they may cater in illicit activity. They seem to have, I don't know, some sort of morals. Mm-hmm. And they
have a code.
Yeah. They return all your stuff, and you are led out of the room, out of this section, which is a short little walk out, and you're aware of this path from your memory, Valerian, and then you're led back into the Black Lantern Lane. And as you're being escorted out of there by the guards, a number of the shopkeepers are watching you with now a lot more attention. And
is the kid there?
No, he's not.
Damn.
You walk by that booth though, and you do see the half-orc that you guys knocked out, and he is currently sitting at the table, and he just kind of gives you all this dirty glare as you walk past.
He looks fucked up.
He does look like he's recovering from the fight, yeah.
Is he selling anything?
There's nothing on the table like before.
Alright.
And that's the thing you notice as you're walking by. There's people sitting at these tables, but there's no items that seem to be getting sold. As you're passing, you do see a couple people at one table talking to the representative behind there. And as you guys pass, they're kind of pulled into a back room, and the door's just open just enough that they can get through and come back in. So you can kind of guess that because a lot of the stuff is illicit here, a lot of the deals get done in the back rooms.
All right,
makes sense.
Did they ever give us a time frame?
No.
No? Okay.
But you got the impression that you're probably being watched. So if you say, okay, fuck all, we're going to go somewhere else, they'll know that you're not actually actively trying to get the ledger. And you guys are led up the stairs back into that alleyway that has that kind of optical illusion at the end. And led back onto the streets of Galespire. It is currently kind of mid to late morning. Sun is out. It's a decent day. You see people walking out on the streets, and you guys are left to your devices. What would you like to do?
Well, we should go plan a heist, right?
Mm-hmm.
I look to Aphris and ask her if she would like me to cut these gems so that we can sell them and have some sort of income to fuel said heist.
I mean, yeah, we can do that. And then, since we don't know where the ledger is, and they were very unhelpful with that information.
About that, would I know where the ledger is kept, like being a thief and all?
No, I mean,
the
guards have it somewhere. I mean, you could. It's up to your guessing at that point.
My current thoughts are that the ledger would probably be kept in the head office with all the evidence. Whatever head office they have.
Potentially. I suppose it would depend on what the ledger holds. If it's a guard route ledger, could be in a different location, not so much evidence.
How about we go back to our hotel place and can't remember what it's called and hash it out and not on the street. Where there's probably guards around.
True.
This makes sense.
Alright, so you guys head back to the inn.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys head back there, and it's got some patrons in the morning having their breakfast and whatnot, but not too busy.
As soon as I like get to the door of the inn, I'm like, and then I run off. Sorry, I'm gonna go to Bubba because I forgot about him for a second.
So Attribution just goes galloping off.
Okay.
Yeah.
To the farm.
Well, like towards that way, yeah.
Do you tell them this, or you just gallop off without
No,
a word?
I just like remember, and I'm like, oh no, we said we take care of him. And I go.
Alright.
Can I tell based off the direction she's running that might be where she's going?
She's heading away from the inn and kind of the direction of the gate of the town.
I'm gonna send a
I
message.
will.
First, this might
I'll
not
say
be the
I'll
best
cast
time.
message. Oh,
I
no,
gotta
don't
feed
have that.
Bubba.
You get that back.
They might not like it if you leave town.
Listen, I'm not leaving forever. I'll be back. I gotta feed him. It's part of the rules. Birdie loves him. I'm just gonna yell into the open. I'm going to feed my elephant.
There's a lot of strange looks going like, and people are getting out of the way as they're like throwing
Midnight's
themselves out of the way of this giant centaur.
Midnight's just
So the
face
people
rolling.
watching me will know I'm not running from them. I'm just going to feed my elephant, bro.
That's how you tell them, yeah.
Midnight's just face palming like, oh god.
What would the two of you like to do while she goes and feeds Bubba?
Well, they fed us, right?
You haven't eaten anything today, no?
Okay, well, first things first, breakfast.
That's absolutely okay.
Yeah, that'll be that'll be 5 copper pieces each.
Alright. That's not where I get that.
I'll forage for me and Bubba at the same time.
After you head out of the gate, it's pretty decently busy as people are coming in from not being able to get in over the night, and but you head off towards the farm. As you get there, you actually run into the gnome before you actually get to the house, and he is out fixing one of his machines. You see him kind of he's kind of up on top of the machine with like half his body inside this like crevice that seems to have had this latch opened up. And you hear him just yelling profanities. He's just like, "Why don't you fucking work, you piece of shit!" You hear like clanging and smoke and gears start flying out, and he's working
I'm like,
hard.
good morning. As I run
goes
by.
like, goes, "What?" And he jerks up and smacks his head on the lid. There's a loud just clang as he sits. It's like, oh shit, motherfucker!
Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
Oh,
Hi.
it's
Good morning.
you.
Yep.
Okay.
It's me.
You're here to see your elephant. He's like rubbing the.
Yep.
the egg
Gonna
on
go
his
feed
head.
him.
Yeah, he's at the barn. Yeah, he was fine. He was fine last night.
Okay.
Where were you, by the way?
Oh, I fell asleep, super drunk. You know how it is.
Well,
Yeah.
I found him some hay that we had, so he should
Oh,
be
that is
okay
so sweet.
from
Thank you so
last
much.
night. That'll be another gold though.
Okay, I throw him a gold.
He's like, catches it and puts it in his little pack, and then he goes back, and as you're walking away, you just hear him go back to cussing at the whatever machine he's working on.
I will be right back. Apparently our food's here.
Go for it. Yes, and then so you go off and you go to the barn, and it's currently open, so like air and sunshine is getting in, and Bubba's kind of like sitting, and you see him just kind of like munching on some hay as his trunk is like putting into his mouth. And the moment you walk around, you kind of see him like look up as he seems to recognize you, and you just
What's up, bro? I can't take him off of his leash because I definitely can't control Bubba. That's not my job of the group.
As you get closer, the trunk just kind of like goes over to you and kind of like it's like I don't know, greeting you in a way.
I'll give him some pats, and then I'll be like, I'll be back with some better food than hay, bro. And then I'm gonna go off. I guess, is there a forest around? I don't know.
There's not really any forests around here, no.
No? Okay. I guess I could I can forest for food that it's not in a forest.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do the farm, but...
No, you can gather food for yourself and 5 other individuals, so I'm sure you can get food for an elephant.
Me and an elephant, yeah.
Yeah, which is about 5 other people.
Yeah.
So you go in and you get some, you find some, fortunately this is where some of my education goes a little slack. I don't know what fucking elephants eat. I had no idea. You find whatever you feel elephants would eat. Peanuts, sure.
Afrits might know. But I don't.
Yeah, make a nature check real quick.
Oh god, okay. I just assume an elephant would eat similar as I do. But we'll see. Where's my nature? That's a 21.
21. Alright. Yeah. You go and you find something, a pile of stuff that you feel the elephant would enjoy, and Bubba seems to enjoy it when you get back. Eats it all up, awesome. And about partway through, he kind of the trunk reaches over and dunks itself into like this trough of water that seems to have been placed there for him, and it puts some of it into its mouth, and then it kind of aims the trunk at you and just water all over you.
I'm like, cool, thanks. It's like a good rain shower. Love that.
Leaves, shoots,
with a little bit of spit.
Bark, fruits, twigs, bushes, and shrubs. There you go. Thanks to Stream Mom, you now know what elephants eat.
What I got.
And yeah, so you have a little time with Bubba. Are you staying there, or are you leaving after that?
Well, I'll like spend a little bit of time with him, and be like, Birdie will be back soon, and let's pat him. Valerian is back, and then make sure he's all good, and then I'll head back.
Okay. During this time, Valerian at midnight, what are you doing? After breakfast, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to I'll work out a little bit more on the bag while I think, and I'm trying to, I guess, make a general intelligence check perhaps about maybe anything I might know about how guards work. See if
can I help him with that?
Actually.
Yeah, sure. You guys can kind of chat as Valerian is working.
Or even better yet, like, if I've noticed while we're in town, kind of how maybe guard routes work, and see if maybe we could figure out where to start with. Have we passed by the guard place at all?
No, you haven't passed by any area that you feel would be like a guard hall or anything like that. No, but make a intelligence insight roll.
Okay.
Normally insight is based off of wisdom, but this one specifically because you're trying to see if you've been able to gain any knowledge on their workings, I'm basing it off intelligence instead.
That is going to be a 23.
23. And did you do that at advantage with the help of Midnight?
Yep.
Okay.
A 17 and a 16.
All right. From what you've seen of the guards, they seem to be. They all seem to have basic uniforms. They don't have the most expensive gear out there. Most of them are either in hard leather, or some of them are in some chainmail. If they have that, you have noticed that they do have a uniform type of emblem that is usually placed on their gear, so you know that they are guards. They are all wearing different types of weaponry. Some have shields and swords. Some have spears. Some have even a couple of them that you've seen actually wearing like great swords on their back. So it all is kind of different, and they seem to either be grouped in pairs or in squads. You've seen one squad of about like 5 of them moving down the street together, but most of them are in pairs of 2. So other than that, that's what we're alone. No. It seems to be a small enough town that they're able to, they're not really spread too thin.
So, quick question. What kind of armor is Valerian wearing?
My armor is integrated into my being, so it would be really hard to tell.
Yeah, but don't you have like the well, yeah.
I have like a normal like a wizard outfit over my body, but past that it'd be really hard to tell what armor.
Okay. But I assume he doesn't make like loud noise that would make it disadvantage on stealth.
I unfortunately do.
Okay.
So do I.
Well, it looks like Midnight's going to be doing the main sneaking stuff.
That's why I said I'm a great distraction. I'm big and loud.
I can guidance myself though.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you guys, and then as you guys are sitting there talking, kind of like going over what you've seen, working on the bag and whatnot, Afris comes back about, I'd say about like 40 minutes later. They would have you, though. I'm guessing you guys are doing this in like rooms, correct?
Yeah.
Away from the public. So they would have you pay for rooms for the day. So that's going to be a silver per room.
I think we had 2 rooms, correct? So 2 silver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does anybody have actual silver?
No,
think
but
I do.
I'm assuming I have like 100 copper because of or 95 copper because I had to
I
break
have
the gold
silver.
down.
I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
if not, I can give her 1 gold and pay for like 5 days worth of 2 rooms.
So do you
Well,
guys
I
That
could-
way we have time. That way
we
we
could
have
do that
days to
too.
actually plan this
But
out.
I do
and
have
stuff.
tons of silver, so whatever we want to do.
I'll just give her 1 gold,
Okay.
and I'll pay for 2 rooms for 5 days.
Okay. Yeah. So Afris gets back, and you guys all kind of like sit down as you're realizing what you guys are needing to do here soon, and you start planning out said heist. And from there, we will take our 15-minute break. Let people stretch, go to the bathroom, food, whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes.
All right. Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, I went to the bathroom.
I figured as much. It's 4 a.m. now. Just wanted to go over something with you that Papa wanted me to go over with you. Over with everybody individually, since I don't have you all together. While you're here, if you're wearing a mask, look at Papa. He's gonna pretty much stay away from everybody. Just to be on the safe side. And if you guys want to talk to him or whatever, just go ahead and swing to some bar and hang out with you know, whatever inside. So just to wear the mask in here. And mainly we'll be staying in the room right in the back room where the party is.
Yeah.
And when we eat, he's not going to sit with us. He's going to sit at the table in the kitchen or in his room, you know, to keep away from everybody. Okay?
Hang on 1 second. Thought I muted myself, but apparently I didn't. Okay, we're muted now.
Okay. Did you hear everything that I said, or do I need to tell you again?
No, I heard everything. I was just not muted on Discord,
Huh?
and I just realized it doesn't matter. am currently back. This curry's gonna go right through me, so I'm probably gonna have to leave soon. Not leave, but you know.
If you got a bathroom break, you got a bathroom break.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm still waiting on my delivery food. It's slow today.
I unfortunately let a conversation between me and my mom slip onto the stream.
Oops.
Oh well. That's alright. I actually think I can cut that out of the YouTube version. The YouTube archive.
You probably can.
Because I have a open shot editor. All I have to do is just mute that part and place the music over it.
Yeah. Did you see the crit roll people's new looks?
New looks?
Yeah, all the characters got new looks done yesterday.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Their winter gear. Yasha's got like one of those Russian style like furry hats. It's on their Crit Roll webpage.
I'm looking at it now.
Might be on their Twitter too. I like Ford's a lot.
Nice Russian hat.
Right? Looks good though.
I like these outfits way more than the level 10 outfits. For some reason, the level 10 outfits just made them look like villains.
I love their stuff for level 10.
I didn't mind Caleb's. I liked him looking a little bit more clean and not so homeless.
Well, Caleb is the one that I
loved Yasha's.
That I think I've suffered from the biggest problem of villainous outfit.
Well, and then Yasha, it's nice to see her have her feathered wings now.
Mm-hmm. That is really nice. Hello, chat, and welcome to the stream where we talk about Critical Role instead of play D&D.
While we wait.
Oh my god, Jester looks so gorgeous.
Right, I like her boots.
Mm-hmm.
The heels.
I have a folder in my phone that's just like Critical Role, like official art.
I do too. Not in my phone.
Did you see that? Did you see that link I sent you, Scott, with their new outfits?
Yep, I have it saved.
What do you think about Ford's?
I love his. I love his look.
He's got the actual like pirate hat on. So good.
Tricorn. He's definitely leaning into that aspect of his character.
Yeah.
And and if you look in his, you can definitely tell that they did note in his tusks coming in, because in the very first character art he doesn't have any tusks, but then at level 10 he does, and it's even more so now in this one.
Yeah, that's cool too.
And now he has a full-on beard too. he was clean shaven up to this point.
I guess Yasha's getting her winter coat in, given that she doesn't have the blue part on her face anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You see her legs and sides though. She's got bare skin showing on the legs and sides. She's got to be chilly still.
Yeah, that's true.
I gotta
That's
actually
an odd
see.
choice.
Actually see if there's individual ones.
There is.
They should be on that link I sent you if you just keep scrolling down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they have the group picture and like the text, and if you scroll down, it shows all their individuals, and you can just click them.
Did you like my little nod to your first D&D campaign, Skyler?
Which one? Sorry.
With the character that I made, the paladin I made.
Oh yeah. I thought the shifter was unique.
I thought it was going to be interesting.
And,
So it was to play towards him being a werewolf.
Yeah.
So,
well, because I noticed the name
Without
immediately. Because
yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah.
I thought that. Did you go with that one for the strength?
For the what?
For the strength?
I went the B-side one. So when I transform, I get the temporary hit points from normally shifting, and then I also get an additional D6 of temporary hit points and a +1 of my AC when I shift.
Nice.
Scott, just so you know, I mentioned this earlier to the chat. I'm having curry, and there's a possibility this might go right through me. So if I have to leave quickly, that's what happened.
Okay.
I really like Caduceus' new look too.
I've actually been a fan of Caduceus' whole setup for. I love the green and pink.
He's got like a full head of hair now instead of just swooped to the side, and it goes really well with the beard aspect that he has. I think it looks really good. And then I like how Caleb's look hasn't changed much, but he's got the dunamis in the one hand and fire in the other.
He went back to the more the first outfit, but updated it to something that's not so dirty looking.
I really like Forge though.
They're all really good. First time Veth actually got some character art for during the actual stream time rather than just set up for.
Ari did do one for Veth after level 10.
Yeah, it was a setup.
Yeah. Where she's in like the yellow outfit and stuff, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I love the spell effects for Caleb, though.
This is the first time this has actually used the door code in a while. Normally they're just like, come get it.
Speaking of that curry, I'll be back in a minute.
Alright.
Levitation. I thought that.
Hola.
Hello.
Do you like Christmas time, Tori?
Not particularly.
No.
I'm not much of a Christmas person.
Just like no real reason, or just not a lot of fond memories?
No, just not a real reason. Other than I hate the lights and they give me a headache worse than I already have. Because I have a constant headache, so I mean just
That
I
would
don't
be
like
definitely a reason. Yeah, you got nothing to enjoy about it. Why like it? Yeah.
Yeah. See, like I can't go light watching. I will throw up. So like
Okay.
I can't drive around and look at lights. And
Yeah.
the other ones and if I don't throw up, it just makes me have a worse headache than normal. So I'm not a big fan of nighttime during the Christmas season, personally.
Yeah, that I can understand that. I'm guessing you guys decorate kind of sparsely there.
Well, it's mostly just like outside stuff. And also we just turn off our lights during the nighttime, so it's not as big a deal. Because when it's the daytime, like the lights, they don't, they're not as prevalent.
Yeah. Well, whenever Ant and Skylar get back, start back up.
I'm good now.
Alright. Let's wait for Ant.
I'll try to make my eating quiet.
Yeah, that's why it took so long. I was eating.
I tried to time my food to like get here right when we take the break, but they took like 20 minutes longer. So it did not
Yeah,
work
my
out as
food
well
came
as
at
I
like
was
6:30, so I just had to heat mine up. But still very good. So.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you come up with a plan for how we're going to do this?
No.
I have a half.
No plan. There's nothing in this brain. There's nothing there. I gotta rewrite these notes because yikes, you can barely read them. It looks like a different language, honestly.
As long
It's
as
your
you
own
can
version
read
of
them,
Thieves'
that's...
I was writing so fast.
It's Afris can't.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the only guard's name I know is Johnny. And I think I know where he lives.
I think I know where he lives.
Aunt said that they could go back to game screen if we want from wherever he is.
I can't control anything. It's all on his OBS.
I know, he said that he can change it from wherever he is if we want to start playing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's what he said, right? Yeah, he said, I got Streamlabs remote to work and I could hear you.
Yeah.
It. So.
If you guys want to start planning until he gets back, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I should be good at planning heists because I watched a lot of like heist-related shows. Like, Leverage is one of my favorite shows of all time. And there's a lot of heists in that show, but one brain cell. My question is, have either of you seen Leverage?
It sounds familiar.
Nope.
I have watched a lot of heist stuff.
You haven't watched Leverage? Oh my
I have
god.
not. I apparently need
Okay,
to watch
that
it.
bums me out a little bit.
I'm always up for taking suggestions, so I'll have to take a look at it.
Okay. Ant said it's changed.
I see that.
There it goes.
So yeah,
Unless it's nerdy, scientific, or supernatural, Scott, don't watch it.
Are you caught up on Supernatural, Scott?
I am. I finished it. Tyler isn't though.
I have 4 episodes left.
I haven't watched since like season 12, but all of the Supernatural memes are hilarious.
Yeah, they are.
I love them. I want to watch just so I can, understand it even more.
It's really good. Oh yeah, dude, I love the.
Yeah.
We were watching the video the other day of out of context supernatural scenes. They're just like, I get the context. I've seen them all, but it's still fucking hilarious watching them.
Okay. Planning a heist.
Planning a heist. Yeah. So you guys are sitting in one of the inn rooms together, while you see Valerian kind of stitching through this bag. He's got the phase sack from the phase spider, and he's slowly working with it and kind of cutting it up so it kind of fits in the shape of a bag and adding some elements to it. It's a lot of really fast, busy work, but he's working on it.
I remind Afris, well, not Afris, reassure her that I will make sure to put an alarm on her room tonight.
Well, I'm not worried about being kidnapped. I weigh 900 pounds, bro. Someone's gonna notice if they try to take me.
I don't know. Elephants exist.
Oh no, now I'm worried
Let's use
about
the
them.
elephant.
They know we have an elephant now.
Let's use the elephant to break into the guard tower.
I gotta go stay with the elephant tonight. I gotta stay with Bubba.
Just give the guy 1 more gold. Is there room for another large creature in here?
No. Definitely not up the stairs.
Okay, so heist. I know the guards are very unhelpful. Whenever I went to talk to them, try to find Birdie, they're like, "Oh, you gotta file an official report. You can't talk to the guards that were on duty." I know about Johnny and where he lives, I think.
I have a
think
half-ass
the
idea.
Bartender told me that. What's your idea?
What if I go in there and show interest in applying for a guard duty job and see if they can't show me around the grounds a little bit, and I will memorize kind of what I see so we can come up with some sort of break-in.
Okay. I mean, that would probably be the best way to know where all the stuff is.
Since midnight's the one going in, I don't have to worry about them seeing my face.
True. And then I can make the distraction wherever is needed for Midnight to do her thing. And then, so, your job will be safe. If you get a job, you might like it.
I won't take the job. I'll tell them I'm interested in applying, and I would like to look around and see what it all entails.
Well, I mean, if you take the job, you might get even more access. You never know.
I might
You get hired.
If I take it and then we leave town all of a sudden, we might not be able to come back. If that's not an issue, then I can surely do that.
Well, I mean, I feel like you could give for 2 weeks, you know? Just notice. You'd be like a family emergency.
Yeah. Turns out it's not for me.
Yeah, I mean, ask them for a trial run, you know? What do you think, Midnight?
I mean, it could work. I was just gonna
I mean, it
like
can't
follow some guards
hurt.
around to find out where they take stuff.
You
It can't
certainly
hurt
could.
us. I don't think. I mean, it might, but I don't see how. Alright, you gotta look presentable. I feel like you're not really dressed for guard.
I'll disguise self me some fancier clothes.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Okay. What kind of clothes are you disguising yourself into?
Not like super fancy, but probably like a little nicer than regular commoner clothes.
Okay. And then are you heading out right now, or?
Before you do that, we should figure out where you need to go to apply for a job. We gotta figure that part out first.
How far away is the gate from here?
It's about a 10-minute walk.
I can run there real quick.
We can just walk there and ask. Maybe Johnny will be working.
Oh yeah, maybe. I'm most likely the guys I yelled at. Maybe I shouldn't go.
I hope you don't
I
mind, but
can
I'll
walk
stay
there.
in the shadows while you do this.
Sounds good.
So, Valerian and Midnight are going after you. Are you going with them?
No, I can't sneak, and I don't want to ruin his chances of getting hired. So I'll just chill.
You're just gonna chill here and.
I'll just. Afris will just think about the plan.
What if you just filled out what if you filled out that report you said they were telling you to fill out?
You could.
Oh, you want me to go fill out a report? Okay. Okay.
After we figure out where to fill that out.
They
Do you want
might
me to
lead
go
you to the office
first
to do that.
and then you ask for a job? Or do you want to ask for a job and then I ask to fill out a report?
Either or works for me. I mean, filling out a report doesn't seem suspicious.
No, I know. I meant like. I just don't think we should go together.
Yeah. Either way works for me. We should probably figure out where we would fill that report out because we're brand new to town. We haven't seen any headquarters for the guards quite yet.
Well, they did. Whenever I was yelling at those guys, they did say you gotta come with us and fill out a report. So I'm sure they'll just take me there.
Well, works for me.
Okay, then I will go to the guard at the gate.
Yeah. So, Valerian and Afris, are you going together, or are you guys going to go separate?
I'll let Afris go first.
Okay. After you head out of the inn, and you going to the gate again, or are you just going to try to find a guard?
No, I'm just gonna go to the gate because I know where they are.
Okay.
Unless I run into one on the way.
It's not too long of a walk, and so you get to the gate before you actually run into any other guards. And when you get there, you do recognize a couple of them as a couple of other people that you yelled at the other morning, and they kind of like. They like are getting like ready to
Don't
like
give me the attitude, okay? I don't need this right now.
I'm gonna.
Can we help you?
Follow stealthily.
You're gonna what?
Yeah, I'm here to file a report.
Roll a stealth from Midnight.
That's a soft 20.
Okay. They're like, oh, yeah. Well, we can escort you to the guardhouse, and you can make your report there with our detectives.
Okay. Thank you.
And they get two of the guards to actually follow with you and kind of escort you kind of more towards the west side of town. And you are led to a large, dark red bricked building that has the insignia for the guard there, and it's kind of it's a shield with a sword and a spear crossing with the symbol of a lion on the shield behind it. It's kind of like up and above where the weapons cross. And
Did you say lion?
Yeah, lion. Yeah. And they lead you inside, and there are. It's kind of one of those situations where you go in, and there's kind of a front desk, and then behind that is a gate that you can kind of see through, but it is a closed gate. And then behind that, you see a number of like desks and little cubicles and whatnot for people that seem to be working. And then in the very back, there's kind of a raised platform with a glass laden off kind of like office where you see a few people back there seem to be kind of like talking over a large table with a bunch of, I mean, you can't really see anything from here, but you can see that there's probably papers and whatnot on the table. It's a ways back in the back of the building. But they bring you forward to the reception, which has about 4 individuals that are sitting there taking notes and talking to people, and they bring you forward and say, like, we have someone here that wants to report a missing person, correct? I look at you.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
And the woman kind of looks up at you, kind of like surprised at the centaur walking in, and a lot of people are kind of giving you an odd look. But
I'm just like waving like this.
Oh, yes, of course. And she writes down a couple of pieces of paper, a little bit on a paper. Can we get your name?
It's Afris.
Afris, okay. And missing person? How long have they been missing?
Is it 2 days now?
Yeah, just about 2 days, yeah.
Like almost 2 days.
Okay. And she writes that down quick, and then she hands it off to somebody behind her, and they take it off, and she's like, if you'd like to wait over there, one of our detectives will come and talk to you in a moment when they're free.
Okay, great.
And she like points over to this like waiting area that is the seats are far too small for any of you to sit, for you to actually sit on.
I'll just stand.
Just kind of like over there, just stand. There's other people like that are waiting that are kind of like looking at you. But Midnight, do you follow her in attempting to follow her in, or are you going to stay outside?
I'm sorry. Was that a question to me? I just had She's a Brick House play in my head about. I'm so sorry. That was what distracted me.
No, you're good. Are you attempting to follow her into the building, or are you staying outside?
I don't
There's
think I
just
could
one
follow.
Entrance with guards watching it.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think I could follow that easily inside. So what I want to do is circle around the complex and see what I can tell from their like guard patterns and stuff like that.
Sure, make an investigation check. And another stealth as well.
That's a natural 20 for a total of 24.
Okay, and the stealth check?
I'm sorry, you wanted another stealth check?
Yeah.
Okay. That was my investigation, I guess.
Yeah, the first one was your investigation.
Oh, the first one was investigation, then that would be a 27 total. That... Any chance I can work out a natural 20 from getting that high stealth check? I mean, not a natural 20, a advantage?
No.
Okay, then the total for that one is 7.
For your stealth?
No, you said the first one would be the stealth, right?
No, sorry, no. The first one is your investigation. The second one is your stealth.
Yeah, then the first one would be 24 investigation, and then 10 stealth.
Okay. 10 stealth. Okay. So you're moving around the building. It's a little hard to be stealthy as you're looking around, and a couple of people do kind of like notice you as you walk past. No one seems to stop you or anything, but you do get a good look at the building as you move around it. You see that there are a few guards that are actually patrolling on top of the building. Not too many. There's only about 4 of them, but they do have crossbows and seem to be kind of on the ready. The building itself, yes.
Is it too late to say that I would like to? I would have used my other disguised self to transform into the silver-haired elf.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't think about saying it until just now.
Okay.
But that's generally how I do my stealth stuff. The silver-haired elf.
Mm-hmm. You move around. The building does not have too many windows. There is 2 on the right side, but they are about 2 stories up, and then there's another 2 on the opposite side that are kind of like mirrored, and then there's 1 kind of large window on the back of the building that is again about 2 stories up. And they are all of the windows are barred from the outside. So like there's the window itself, and then there's bars that are encasing the window itself. And the one in the back is slightly open at the moment. But other than that, the only other entrances into the building seem to be the front doors.
Okay, so the windows can open.
Mm-hmm. But they are encased by bars.
Okay. So there's no way to get through them. The only way to enter would probably be the front entrance, correct?
If you didn't, like, the only real, like, legit way to enter right now is the front doors, yeah.
Okay. And I assume it's patrolled pretty well?
At the moment, yeah. You're not sure how it is at nighttime, but right now it's guarded by 2 people out front on either side of the door, and they're there to like ask people their business and then let them in as that happens.
Mm-hmm. All right.
While I'm waiting,
yes.
I just want to try to make like the best mental map of the inside of this place as I can without like obvious. I'm just like looking around because I'm just waiting.
You see in the back the rows of desks and the cubicles off to the sides. You do see that there are 4 different exits out on either side of this room itself, past the cage, basically on either side of either side of the room. There's 2 doors. There's 2, like obviously 2 closer to you, 2 farther back. That go off into other parts of the building, and then at the far end of the room, on the right side, if you're looking like at the room, there is a kind of a spiral staircase that leads down, seemingly underground since you were on ground level.
Okay.
And throughout your time waiting, you do see people come and go, and there is you also see people coming through one of the doors on the right with people in like cuffs and restrained, and moving them towards the stairs and down. And you see the one you do see is like this large, like muscular dude, bald head, tattoos along his neck, kind of beat up looking leather armor, and he's got his hands behind his back, and he's being led through there by about 3 individuals, 3 guards, and he's swearing. He's like, "You won't be able to keep me! I'm gonna get out! You'll see!" And he's getting like pushed down the stairs.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think I'm hearing a high-pitched squealing coming from your.
It's my roommate. It's my roommate.
Okay.
Just have him close his door.
Okay. Sorry, that would have just been a little upsetting on stream, I think, for the viewers.
No, you good. Just to give a little love. Yeah, so that's kind of thing you see from the room itself. Those are all the exits and the entrances into the building. Not sure where the doors go, but and then the Valerian, what are you doing during this?
How long have they taken, would you say?
This has been about, I'd say, maybe 20 minutes. Half hour.
I'm going to take a pen and paper and map out from my memory, the actual facility of the Lantern people.
Okay.
Best I can.
You get that written down. You feel fairly certain. It's a little... You obviously don't know from the looks of it. Just having plenty of other places in there you're not aware of, but you can get a general idea of how to get to where you were held, where you saw them getting pulled out of, and then the courtroom area.
Yeah, that's what I'll spend the 20 minutes doing.
Okay. About that time, Afris, older-looking man, he's got kind of like a 5 o'clock shadow type of beard, kind of messy hair, but he seems to be in decent clothing. He has the insignia on his jerkin that he's wearing, and he's just kind of, you were about the missing persons, correct?
Yep, that's me.
Go back, and he kind of opens up the door, opens up the gate, lets you through. You have to kind of like duck under to get in, as the door's not really made for a centaur, and then closes it behind you, and he leads you over to a desk over to the right, where he's got a bunch of like papers and files and whatnot that are kind of all strewn about his desk with like a little lamp on it, and he kind of sits down in this chair and says, I'm Detective Drezik, and I will please let me know what's going on. Your name was Afris, correct?
Yes. How do you spell his name?
Drezik, Drezek.
Yep, my name's Afris.
He kind of like picks up a clipboard that has some paper on it. He starts writing. He's like, "So, who's this person that's missing?"
My friend Birdie.
Birdie, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what species is this birdie?
She's a kinku.
Kenku. Any distinctive features?
Yeah, she's pure white.
And how many hours has she been missing?
Like 48 almost.
2 days. When was the last place you saw her?
In our hotel room.
Okay. What inn were you in? And you tell him, because I don't remember what I said it either. So it's
I don't know. I don't know.
And,
the one that I was staying in.
And this happened in the nighttime.
Yep. About 3 a.m. I'm told, because some people heard some noises around then.
Okay. And do you or your Kenku friend have any enemies?
Not that I can think of. I mean, pretty straight-laced, clean cut.
It kind of looks at you like, I mean, if there is any that you can think of, it would be helpful to the investigation. It might help us more easily find your friend.
I mean, I know that she has been in the exotic animal trade before, and that's kind of my guess now. She's
exotic
very
animals.
Yeah.
He kind of leans forward, and you see him pull up this. He kind of opens up his desk drawer, and he goes to open it, and he's like, "Oh, son of a bitch!" Kind of like as he's trying to get it open, he's just Give me just a moment. And he slides back in his chair and almost falls back. And he catches himself on the desk and pulls out this big file. And he starts flipping through it and everything. We've actually recently been here getting some reports from the towns of an exotic animal trading group that's been going through. There were some recent reports here not too long ago.
All of this problems we've been having is because of Afris again. We could have done this the easy way.
No.
And
No,
we
I
haven't
think
really.
he's talking about the ones we killed. I'm just saying.
It's just they were through here a few weeks ago. We were able to hold some of them, but we weren't able to get any evidence towards it. They had their operation decently hidden, and any animals they did have, they got out of town before we could find it.
That is unfortunate for the animals.
But you've had run-ins with them. Or
Not
at
me
least
personally,
Birdie has.
but I know she has. Yeah,
Do you think they would?
I don't know if it's the same people.
Do you think they would want to? They would have a vendetta enough to do something to her.
I mean, it's possible. Yeah. She was very scarred by the experience. So.
Okay. And you're sure you didn't see anyone?
I didn't. No.
Did anyone else see anything?
There was a description that we got from a kid who said he told someone about us being in the inn that we were in. Hot redheaded lady, and was it a bald guy with a scar? I'm not looking at the right page of my notes.
Bald guy, scar on neck, foggy eye, and for some reason I wrote red. I'm not sure why I wrote that.
I explained that.
Yep.
Maybe it was red foggy eye. Maybe that's what it was.
Okay.
So you have an idea of who this is?
I do. That fits a description of a known vagabond in town that I've had dealings with in the past. He's always been able to get off by technicalities before, but someone described him as being asking about you. You have other allies?
Yes. As you can see, a bit interesting looking, all of us.
I will say you are quite distinct, but
though she is the smallest, but she's also the loudest. So
small ones tend to be the loudest from what I've noticed.
Yeah, so they definitely would have had to keep her quiet because she's never quiet ever.
Leans forward, takes like this cup of like this black liquid that you're guessing is some sort of coffee. Puts it back down. Well, I can look into some leads that I might know. Is there any other information that you can give me?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I will write up this report, and can you be found at the inn, I'm guessing?
Yep. That's where I'm staying.
I will send a guard out if we get anything. I will ask, don't try to follow these people yourself. Don't try to look into this yourself. These, if they are the people that I'm guessing they might be, these people are dangerous, and they wouldn't have any qualms about either taking you or hurting you. And I really don't want to see anyone else get hurt. But I can promise you we will do our best and to find your friend.
Thank you so much.
If there's nothing else, one of the officers can show you out, and I have a good day.
Okay.
He looks tired. He has like dark circles under his eyes. You can definitely tell he doesn't sleep much.
Bye, dude. Thanks for the help.
You get up, and is there anything you want to do before you leave? As you're getting let out?
No. Did I know that Midnight followed me?
Yeah, I would have let you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't want to meta, but the innkeeper had said she saw some people.
Wait, yeah, that's what I think I said that right.
I don't.
You
think
said
did.
someone gave you a description. You didn't
That-
specify who
yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you head out of the building, and midnight you're kind of off, skulking around a little bit, and you see Everest leave the building.
Okay. All right, I'll head out behind her, just like trailing her, not too close. I'm still staying
You
stealth.
heading back to the inn, Everest?
Yeah.
Okay. You head back to the inn. Valerian, are you doing anything during this time? It's another maybe like half hour of them doing this and then heading back.
Other than that little map, maybe I'll work on some of those gems.
Okay.
Start shaping some of them so that way we can sell them and get some income.
Okay. So as you guys get back to the inn and go back up to your rooms, you can hear kind of this like ching 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 kind of noise coming from the rooms, and as you enter, Valerian sitting there, kind of like chiseling away very carefully at one of the rocks that held some of the gems in them.
That is a 19 for a tool check.
Okay. You work on it for about that half hour, and it's not enough to get like a full gem out of it, but you're starting to clean away some of the rock and whatnot before you can actually start polishing and cutting the actual gem itself.
Sounds good.
But then your allies return.
Did you guys find anything out?
Well, it seems like the detective who I talked to knows of a guy that matches the description of the dude that took Birdie.
Wait, so we didn't have to go through all that? We could have gotten information from
what?
him?
No, he said don't go after him yourself. Fuck that. We're definitely going after him. We just have to figure out how to figure out who he is, because he definitely would have helped with that information.
Well, I found that it's gonna be pretty hard to get inside the headquarters. Most of the windows are barred, and they're patrolling pretty tight. I do want to check it out at night though, see if there's less security.
Well, let's hope they keep their stuff somewhere else.
I mean, I can always break in if need to be, but it'd be kind of hard.
Okay. Valerian, are you wanting to do anything today, or?
Yeah, I can do the job application thing.
Okay.
And see if that's cool. Or, I mean, like we can, since Afris was able to get in and at least peek around a little bit while Midnight looked around, we can do something.
I'll also describe what I saw inside to them.
I will make a note of it as best as I can based off her description.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll kind of like give a rough map based off her description.
Okay.
Won't exactly be like guaranteed dimensions, but an idea of how she went through.
You kind of you gotta map it out a little bit, show it to her, and she says, "Yeah." What would you guys have to do next?
Do you guys feel like I should attempt the job thing to see if I can't get another look?
I feel like it won't hurt. Plus, maybe you can find out what's in those rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can do that. Since you've already been there, I don't necessarily need the guards to show me. So if you guys could just tell me in the direction the building is, I can head over there.
Okay, I tell them.
Alright.
Go west, I think is what you said. And I describe the outside of the building so he knows what it looks like.
Okay. You head in that direction. Are you going there by yourself, Valerian?
For the most part, unless Midnight wants to take a look around.
I assume you're not going at night.
I don't think that would be the best time to apply for a job application.
Yeah, that was my thought.
That's not a good time.
So what I'm going to do is see if I can get a grappling hook in town somewhere.
Okay.
I point him to the direction that those dwarves told me about because they're crafters.
Yeah, he points you in the direction of a kind of like this market area where there's a bunch of people that are selling their own personal made wares, not really like, and not actually like shop buildings. It's more of like a bazaar. And
I described the dwarf that I talked to.
Valerian, you head off towards the guardhouse. Midnight, you head off towards the marketplace. Afris, what are you going to do during this time?
I'm just gonna look around town and see if I can find a good vegetarian place to eat.
Okay.
Because you said that this inn kind of sucks, so.
Yeah, they not really used to tailor into that. Alright, so Valerian, you get to the guardhouse, and when they get there, they ask you what your business is.
I was actually looking into potentially applying for a guard position.
Okay. And they kind of look up and down a little bit, sizing you up, and then they kind of shrug and then open the door up, and you're led into the same kind of area.
Almost 7 foot tall metal man. Might be a good guard.
And they open up the door for you.
I did redisguise my outfit like we talked about earlier before heading this way.
Okay.
So I look presentable.
You head in and walk up to the front desk, and you have to wait like a couple minutes as there's a few people in front of you, but you eventually get to the front, and this little plump woman at the desk kind of looks up to you. She's like, "What can I help you with?" And she looks up at you, and she kind of like, "Oh." And she looks up at this now metal man in front of her, but she doesn't seem too surprised, but she just wasn't expecting that.
This has been an interesting day.
Hello.
Yeah, she's
Who
like,
would
I've
I
seen
talk
so many interesting
to
people.
about acquiring information about potentially becoming a guard?
Oh, well, we have, you can fill out this paperwork, and if there's a position open, they will send you for an interview, if you'd like that.
Is there anybody I could potentially talk to right now? And I'll gladly fill out these papers too, but I was kind of wondering if maybe I could inquire about how certain training's done and what pay might be, and a couple other more details. I might not be in town for too long, but it does look like I'm in the process of trying to figure out where I'd like to make my roots, and I have a knack for protecting things, so I figured a guard position would be good.
Well, I know a lot of the officers are busy at the moment, but I can see if there's anyone available to interview now, but I can't guarantee it.
That would be wonderful, and I'll slide 2 gold down as thanks.
She kind of looks to the side as the other women are kind of looking at her, as she's like, and she kind of slides the papers over the gold, sliding it back towards you. The gold, everything. She's like, "That's not the right way to go about this, Sonny." As she kind of pats the paperwork, but she smiles and doesn't really say much past that.
Midnight is face palming without even knowing why.
It's
just psychically,
simply thanking you for your time. It's
It's
not
my
something
job.
you normally have to do.
No worries.
All right.
And she, after you take the paperwork and your gold back, she gives you like a pen and everything to write off. And it's a lot of questions of like name, residence, how long have you been in town, what, like, ask like, what are your qualifications? Why do you want to be a guard? A bunch of stuff like that. And just kind of like giving you some, yeah. And then
If you
how
want, I can
truthful are you
legit
going to be
fill
on
this
it?
out.
I was going to say, how truthful are you going to be on this one?
I'll put my name. I've used it a few times in town now. There's no point in lying about it. As for residence, I am a outlander of sorts, traveling from place to place. I don't have a permanent residence, so I'll note that there is no permanent residence as of now.
Okay.
Why I want to be a guard? I like protecting things, and I figured that's what guards are meant to do. As for my qualifications, I am fairly good at inventing things, and I got stuff that goes boom, and I'll put a couple other stuff that add flourish that make me sound.
Okay. You fill it out and whatnot, and the woman kind of stands up and leaves and heads back, and she talks to a couple people, and you see them as you're like kind of writing. You look over past the gate, and you see her kind of like pointing you out to this very tall, very muscular man that has a very square jaw, crew cut, and is kind of wearing a mix of leather armor and robes, and with a very shiny badge pinned to his robes. And you kind of see him like kind of like nodding towards her, and she kind of like trots back, and then him kind of following along, and he leans against the gate and says, "Looking for a guard position, are you?"
Yeah, potentially so. Let's see if I meet the right qualifications on what you guys are looking for.
Well, I've got a little time. We can talk. See where you're at. Did you finish the paperwork?
I'll hand him.
Yeah, he's like, hand that to Delilah. She'll take it, and kind of hand it over to her, and she files it away. And he's like, "Come on with me." And he leads you back through the desks and through to the. So if you're looking at the room, there's the 4 doors, 2 here, 2 here. He leads you to the one, the back door on the right. I
am making a 19 perception check to take as much detail in as I can from this walk.
Okay. You look through a couple of as you're passing by. You look on a couple of the desks, and you can see a number of like kind of like police reports and the like that. You see people working on stuff. You hear people conversating about. You have a couple people are talking to detectives about like the crimes that they've seen or that they've witnessed, and a few people are like kind of poring over files and going through desks and stuff and trying to like figure out stuff, writing stuff down. You see one guy get up, and he's kind of in a rush as he got a bundle of papers. He rushes towards the back where that kind of that fishbowl area is, and then you kind of led back into the room, and you do notice from Afris's description, you do notice Detective Drezek is over at his desk, and you see him talking to another person on the other side. It's a kind of like maybe looks like an assistant of some kind, and he's telling him to go get some files from downstairs. And as you're getting to the door, that person runs past, and then down the stairs they go. And then you're led back into the other room. He opens up the door, and it leads to a small hallway that goes upstairs. And there's a couple of doors along the hallway, and then leads to a door at the far end that he kind of opens up, allows you in, and then closes. And it's an office room that leads to there's a window that you see there with a bar that is barred there. So you're guessing from Midnight's description, it's one of those rooms that has the window. And he kind of sits down on the opposite end of the desk and says, "Please take a seat."
I do.
What was your name?
Did he say his name? Sorry.
He did not.
Mine
yet, no.
is Valerian Ironheart.
Valerian Ironheart. The name is Derek Ember.
Derek Ember.
I'm.
What is his position here?
I'm one of the lieutenants.
So Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Ember. He kind of leans back in the chair a bit and says, "So, looking for a position here. I will tell you that it's not as simple as just applying and you get the job. There's a bit of a testing period. We'll have to test to see what you're capable of physically and mentally, and make sure you're right for the job. If we feel your credentials are up to stuff." Yes.
Just side note, while we have been in town, have we noticed if the guards are mostly like physical combatants, or do there seem to be any like mages amongst the guards?
You haven't noticed any mages in the guards that you've seen walking around, but in the building, you did notice a few people that would fit that kind of stereotypical description of maybe a caster of some kind. You'd see like a component pouch on one, a spellbook kind of hanging from another belt of another one, but they mostly, from what you've seen, have only been in the main guard building, not actually out on the streets.
Okay, that is good information to have. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. No, it's fine. And that's the other thing too, is that like high level wizards is not really a common thing, but simple magic users is a relatively common thing throughout some of the bigger towns and cities in Corvair. So it's not uncommon to see someone that can at least cast a few cantrips.
Okay.
But and he kind of continues on. He's like, so there's a training period to see if you're up to snuff. And some tests we need to do to make sure you're competent and making sure that you're not going to go off and kill somebody because you think they committed a crime. It's not your place, blah, blah, blah. You got to go through this kind of like list that he's probably listed off 100 billion times. And this is, like I said, if you find your credentials up to snuff, we can let you know. And you can.
So what do I roll for like morality?
Roll for morality.
When I take the test.
I mean, it'd be like a charisma check essentially. If you're wanting to go with a morality you don't think you are.
We'll see.
And he's like, if that sounds interesting to you, we can set that up.
What kind of training do you guys do on the average? Is it mostly physical? Do you guys tend to do arcane-based things?
No, we see if you are arcane inclined, and if that is the case, we can obviously look into different positions. But you specifically said a guard, correct? We usually keep the more physical individuals towards that position.
Guards are knights, yes. But if there's other ways that potentially my skill set would better suit, I could look into that as well. As you can see, I am quite large and intimidating at times. But I happen to be a tinkerer of sorts, and I can make various things that could be helpful for guards.
Just know that it's everyone starts at the same position here, and they work their way up. No one gets any special favors. But if you commit and do good work, you should be able to work your way through pretty easily. You seem intelligent, and he kind of chuckles himself. Well built.
Thank you. Built myself. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
So, Delilah said that you potentially might not be in town for long. Why are you looking for a job if you might be moving on?
I don't have a place of residence. This town seems nice and quaint, so maybe if I could get myself a decent job here, it might be a good place to set roots, so I figured I would look into job possibilities.
It's relatively quiet here. We don't see too much crime. Every once in a while there's a theft, and sometimes there's a fight that breaks out. Every once in a while, though, we do get a few beasties that like to come sniffing around the town, and we try to make sure our guards are up to snuff to keep them safe, and especially the farms that reside outside the town walls.
Beasties I can do. Just took out a phase spider not too long ago.
Fascinating. I fought one of those before. They're creepy motherfuckers.
Tricky with their jumping, but
Yes.
not,
And he
if
kind of
you're
like leans
smart
forward.
enough,
He's like,
you can find ways about it.
leans forward. He's like, "You ever fought a dragon before?"
That I
Can
have
measure
not,
it.
but it does interest me.
And he kind of like moves his neck, and you see like there's a nice like pink scar down the side of his neck. He's like, "Got this from a wormling that I fought about 5 years back."
Looks exactly like this.
Yeah. And he's like, "I got this from dragon wormling. Somebody brought an egg into town, and it hatched, and they were trying to keep it secret, and it ended up breaking out and creating a ruckus around town, started blowing its icy breath everywhere, and it was insane."
I'm
I
just
can't wait to
imagining.
see what happens to Shioran.
Yeah, I was thinking the same
Just like
thing.
one day it hatches.
Thank God it wasn't the mother.
Yeah, I don't know where he got it from, but he definitely was. He learned his lesson, paid his fine, and we got the dragon shipped off to somewhere that it can be released back into the wild.
Well, hopefully wherever it was taken from doesn't miss it.
Well, out of our hair at the very least. But yes, that's about the most exciting thing that's happened here in a few months. So if it doesn't scare you off, we'd be happy to have you along if you can pass the
No,
test.
Dragon wormling does not scare me off. Fascinates me, if anything.
Well, good. Any other questions you have for me?
Is there anything that you need from me, like preliminary wise, before whatever test you'd want me to take?
No, the paperwork should have filled most of that out. The tests are just to make sure that you know what you're doing, you're not incompetent, and you got the physical abilities to deal with threats if needed. But yeah, we can set that up, and we'll let you know. You wrote down your residence, where you are staying, what inn you're staying at on the paperwork.
Yes.
We will send somebody out there once we figure out if we're going to have you test or not.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
And he kind of reaches forward and shakes your hand, and then he
Give him a
escorts you
firm,
out of the.
metallic handshake.
He escorts you all the way down to outside of the gate behind the reception desk, and just kind of waves, closes the door, and heads back into the precinct.
I wave bye to Delilah.
She's like, "Have a good day, dear."
Toodles. And I will head back to the inn.
Okay. So about, I'd say probably about 40 minutes later, Valerian comes back. Midnight. You head to the bazaar. It is a large open space, and it's got a number of tarps and whatnot over the kind of running between a lot of the stalls that give, with the bright light of day, kind of gives some interesting colors to the area. And there's a lot of smells and sensations as you pass through. There's people selling all sorts of goods, from food to clothing to armor to weapons to trinkets to potions, of like what you're not. I mean, granted, you're not sure if any of these are what they actually are trying to sell, but people are selling all sorts of different kinds of things. And you were looking for what specifically again?
Grappling hook.
Grappling hook. Okay. Are you looking for the dwarf, or are you just gonna look for in general for the grappling hook?
He said dwarf would probably be a good idea, so I'll go ahead and follow what he told me.
Okay. Roll a investigation check for me.
Great.
Dwarven metalwork is always good.
That didn't land in the thing. I literally just tossed that right over it. Oh, come on. I can do better than that. Investigation. That's a total of 9. You were doing so good, and now you're not.
Total of 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. You search. You run through the lot a little bit. You get lost. You kind of like find yourself back to the area that you were before, and you don't really find the dwarf, unfortunately. You do find somebody who is selling like metalwork, and he's kind of got his like a bigger stall that has a mini forge in the back, and it's a flaming red hair, like all just like out young man but he seems to be quite skilled at what he's doing. And he's back in the back like ching, 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 clinking away at some sort of piece of metal that hasn't quite taken shape yet. And he sees you, and he kind of looks up, and he's got a big like smear of like grime across his face, and he's, "What can I help you with?"
Yes, I am looking to obtain a grappling hook, please.
Grappling hook? Oh, I haven't made one of those in a while. Any specific metal you're looking for?
A strong one?
He's like, okay.
I'm sorry, I don't know metal all that well.
That was my first thought as well, and a strong one. That's what I would have said too.
Strong it is. And he's like, yeah, I can easily make that for you. It'd probably take me about a day to get that set up. What's your name? And we can have that set up for tomorrow. It'll be about 5 gold.
All right. My name is Midnight, and I can do a day.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and I will need the
That's
money
not
up
fine.
front.
I almost typed in 50 for some reason. Okay. All right. I hand him the gold,
And he actually writes out like a whole receipt for you and hands it over to you. And says, yeah, by tomorrow I should have it. Anything else you need?
no, that'll be it. Thank you.
Thank you. Goes back to his work.
I guess I head back to the inn.
Okay.
Oh wait. What time is it?
It's like, at this point, it's maybe like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, this is not the time to go night scouting. All right. I'll head back to the inn.
Aphros, where were you heading again?
I was just gonna look for a good vegetarian food place to eat.
Yes. Roll an investigation check for me.
I'm like Zola. I'm like Zorro. I have no sense of direction apparently.
Great combat skills. Can't find his way around out of a plastic bag.
It's at 17.
17. You find a nice little restaurant that sells vegan and vegetarian dishes. There, it is run by a couple of gnomes that are selling all sorts of wonderful dishes, and it's a really old little couple that run the place, and their grandson that is kind of their waiter, busboy type of thing. He takes your order, brings it back, and about 10 or 15 minutes later, nice big helping of your choice of vegetarian dishes is presented.
Cool.
Anything else you would like to do?
After I eat my meal, pay for it, for whatever that is, and then I'll go to the market because I know that's where Midnight was, even if she's not there anymore. And then I'll just look around and see if there's anything that Birdie would like. That's shiny.
Okay.
When you
Yeah,
find her, I
you
can
could
give her a gift.
easily find all sorts of stuff that you think that she would either like just because it's shiny and pretty, or might be interesting wise, like tinkering type of wise, because she was like looking for like gold foil and a lot of stuff to write and make her cards for, things like that. So I mean, yeah, it depends depends on what specifically you're looking for, like a present or something specific helpful.
I'll probably just like pick up a bunch of different trinkets, and then maybe some like different colored ink, because I know she wanted inks, but we could only find red and blue or whatever. So I'll see if I can find some other colors.
Okay. And as you're walking through and you're kind of gathering some stuff, you've maybe spent like 2 or 3 gold on some like tools and stuff like that. You see a woman that is sitting back behind this kind of like, she's in a bit of a shaded stall, and she herself actually has a hood and kind of like a veil over her face. And as you pass by, you see that lined across the front of her stall are all of these beautiful looking pendants and necklaces and lockets and things like that. And she, as you pass by, she kind of like looks over at you and says, "Looking for anything interesting, my dear?"
I mean, I'm just looking. What are these? Just necklaces? You make them yourself?
They're more than just necklaces. They are pendants of friendship.
Okay, Medusa. Good to know.
And she kind of like reaches forward and she grabs one of them and she kind of presents it to you. She says, "This is very interesting. If you give it, whoever you give it to, when they can activate its magic, and you will always know when they do. It is a simple charm, but it is a nice signaling." And she kind of explains it that basically whoever's wearing it, they can literally like they can touch it and activate its magic, and you can just know when they do that. It's not like a really communication between the two, but it's kind of like a connection between you two. You both kind of, it's not really a tuning, but you both kind of make it that pact like over that pendant, and it is your friendship bond with that pendant.
Okay. How much is it?
This will be 7 gold. And as you get closer to kind of look at it, you can kind of see that her eyes have this very yellow tinge to them, and almost as like kind of see, it's kind of hard to see through the veil that she has over her face, but they almost look slitted.
Okay, Medusa, I see you. I'll pay her the 7 gold for it.
Okay. She hands it
I don't
over
think
to you.
Aphros is a haggling type.
Can we get like 4 of those?
Well, it doesn't say where they are, right? It just
No, it doesn't. It's kind of like you guys ever heard of those like
you
pillows?
just know that they're alive.
Yeah, it was like one of those like Wi-Fi pillows where you hug your pillow and then the other person's pillow lights up like wherever they are, as long as they're connected
Or it's
to
like where if
Wi-Fi.
you have a ring where if you like touch it, it vibrates.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
So
you get some stuff for her, and so like you have that, and then you also have kind of like a collection of tinker stuff that trinket stuff that you think Birdie would enjoy.
Okay.
And,
Then after I do that, I'll head back.
Okay. And you head back to the tavern, and you guys kind of sit down together after meeting up. Get towards the evening. So you guys wanted to do that evening.
I will relay to Midnight that I overheard that files and such are kept downstairs at the guardhouse. Other than that, I unfortunately wasn't able to get a much better look than what Aphros got. But at least we know that downstairs is where they keep the good stuff.
It's also where they take people in chains. So.
Like I said, that's where they keep the good stuff.
I mean, true.
Aphros, were you paying attention when they sent the file off and grabbed the paperwork? Like to where they went?
I don't think was I there when they sent off the paperwork?
No, that was Valerian.
No,
and
you had them write something down when she was calling for the
Oh yeah, they
asking
filled
for
out
the
a report.
yeah, for the report, and then handed off to someone. They ran off, and then
Yep.
came back with the paperwork for the missing person report.
And
Yeah, I
that
see
would have been, yeah, you would have seen them gone to the back of the room, not downstairs. And there seems to be a kind of a filing section back there.
Okay, so where we need
Okay.
to go?
With
relate
since I entered it myself, I sketch a second map with a little bit more detail from what I saw myself, and I'll circle on it where the downstairs was.
Mm-hmm. All right, so it's gonna take a day before I get the grappling hook, but I do want to do a little more scouting before heading on
What's
in,
the grappling hook for?
so I can get on roofs to double check everything.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
Okay.
And so it'll be. My thoughts are it might take one extra day before we can do extra scouting, or before we can actually put this into motion.
I
Well, I
do
mean, you
have
could
one
go
thing I'd
tonight
like to
and like
do.
make sure,
Yeah,
or just to see how
you could
things
scout
are.
out tonight and see how the guard watches at night.
I will need you to
Perhaps.
provide a distraction or something. I can probably help that out. Because, I have a few
Yeah, we
spells
could
that'll
walk
do
through.
something, but...
Yeah, I can make a distraction. Perhaps you should like sleep, so that you can stay up all night.
I don't need to stay up all night, just need to watch for a few hours.
Okay.
I would like to go find that dwarf myself. I have a question for him. Oh no, I dropped my
Okay.
dice.
Make an investigation at advantage just to find your way there.
Cool.
While he's doing that, I'm just gonna practice my flute.
Okay.
Yeah, I get better
Do
with
I have a
that.
flute?
I gotta get better at it. I got to. I'm so bad.
Yes, I'm gonna join in.
What are the chances of being?
I have consistently rolled under a 5 every time
Yeah.
I've tried to play it.
I'm gonna join
Can
in
I
because I have a
guidance
flute
myself?
too.
Guidance yourself? Yes, you can guidance yourself.
Cool. That's gonna be a 14 plus 2 plus 6 for a 22.
22. Okay. Yeah, you find it within about a half hour of walking, and you move through the bazaar, and you end up at this. They actually have their own building that's kind of put aside there, and it's got an open deck front to it, and you walk up to there, and there's a number of dwarves that are all kind of actually sitting around. They don't seem to actually be doing much, but talking and chatting with each other. And one of them recognizes you as you walk up. She's like, "Hey!" Because you were your
Hello.
Warforged self when you asked them, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And I showed
hey!
I showed them that. Let me see where I have it in my equipment. I have a maker's mark chisel used to mark your handiwork with the symbol of the clan of crafters I learned my skills from. So they know that I'm a friend of dwarven crafters.
Yeah, Valerian, correct?
Yes. Hello.
Hi. What can we help you with?
I was wondering if you guys could help me with some weaponry.
Weaponry. What are we talking?
I've heard reports of other warforges able to have certain weapons come out of their being, and I was wondering if you could help me make this mace one of those weapons.
Well, a couple of us have helped out some more forges before. I think we might be able to do that. And kind of, because you're wanting it to be kind of integrated into your arm. I'm guessing is what you're looking for.
Yes, since arm blades are technically common magic items, I am willing to offer them 50 gold to help me make my personal mace a arm blade mace.
Yeah, they will happily oblige and work towards. They talk to you about like, well, come back. We can either work on a little bit today, but it'll probably take about 2 days to get it fully integrated and working correctly. But we should be able to accomplish that.
Yeah, there is nothing else I particularly have to do today. If you would like some help in the process, maybe take some measurements you might need, things like that.
Yeah, and they will go back if you want to make a tinkering check with advantage instead of helping you.
All right,
Just an
and then with
FYI, I rolled a
tinkering-
5 for my pan flute.
Are you trying to learn how to
On par.
play the flute, or?
I know how to play it. I'm proficient with it. I just can't do it.
Wow, really?
I think I should switch instruments.
Apparently I roll low too. I'm proficient with it, so that would be a 7.
25.
25. Okay.
Yep. You guys are doing great music, by the way.
It's like if I tried to pick up
You
a
work
flute
with-
right now.
Yeah. You get you go back there and they've got a nice big workshop that has all these like, tools and workshops and workbenches, and tools, and you see a couple of their inventions that they have. They have some firearms. They have some like nice cages that are electrified. Some really cool stuff that they've invented. And but then they start working on it. They have you sit down. They kind of like strap your shoulder in so it doesn't move too much as you're kind of like looking, and they get an idea of your arm. You kind of help them out, point out things and everything. And they feel they could probably actually do it fully by tomorrow with your help.
Cool. I will come back in the morning. And
So they will
continue
work on
working
getting
with
it
them.
set up, and then tomorrow will be getting it integrated itself into your arm.
All right.
Alright.
Can do.
Okay, so you head back, and as you are working on with the dwarves on this integrated mace arm weaponry, and Afris and Midnight are attempting to create sweet music in room with the other residents in like looking up at the stairs, like, what the heck? Is somebody killing a cat out there?
Pretty much.
I'm sorry, I did not do that right. It's supposed to be like I do a performance check plus proficiency because I have proficiency in it, correct?
In what specifically?
If
flute?
playing the flute.
Yeah, so it would be performance.
Yeah, I didn't add
basically.
I didn't add proficiency. That would be 9 instead.
Yeah. So yeah,
Slightly better.
it sounds pretty slightly better than Afris, but it's still like pretty bad.
So
You
bad.
both have practice, and as you guys continue
Maybe
to
one
work
day.
on that,
Maybe one day.
we will call that there for the session, and we'll pick this up next week
Okay.
as you guys
I
continue
saw
to plan
God,
your heist.
bro.
You saw a god, at least what you thought was a god.
A game changer for me. I'm still a little rocked by that. I'm a cleric who doesn't believe in God and then saw a god.
I just thought storms were pretty.
Well, you died, though. Duh.
Or a god. I saw a god. Probably not the god. But
It was literally like going to like, okay, she's dead. Time to take her. Oh, okay, someone's bringing her back.
I died.
That's your first official death in the party.
Well,
At level 4.
at least you didn't stay dead.
I can't believe I rolled a 2, a 3, and a 9. That is embarrassing, honestly.
That sucks.
Hey, Afris, how's your first time waking up from the dead?
I mean, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
You to sleep and you're fine, but me, I got like stabbed by some arrows. I got like.
You've never asked, so you pretty much just see me dead every night.
Yeah, I don't want to get into your business. That's for you to know.
And we're making it canon that I just gasp every morning when I wake up.
Yeah,
Dramatic.
it's about. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Hope you guys had fun. And we'll see you next week.
All
It's a
right.
wonderful alarm for me too.
Yeah.
It's time to get out of this sleep. Okay.
All right. I'm ending the stream now.